takedowns, no jiu-jitsu, just bring them down.
Do you really want to jump?
Well, then that's fine with me. Come on.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait a minute. What the...
Gun! Oh!
Raj, meet your new partner.
New partner? Too old for this.
What you got in there?
4-inch Smith?
A lot of old timers carry those.
I'm too old for this. Are you as good as you say you are?
Nobody can touch me.
Suppose we better register you as a lethal weapon. You ever met anybody you didn't kill?
Well, I haven't killed you yet.
What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Reel Hunting, where we hunt for the good reels so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad. Got the Brett man right over here, and we have an awesome guest with us here today, Chase Moser down here from Moser Movie Reviews. And it is, of course, Star Wars Saturdays live. We are doing a live watch party of Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. So we're all pretty jacked about that. It's Valentine's weekend. It's time to just freaking dig into the love of Anakin and Padme. So how are you guys doing today?
Well, I'm a little sad.
What are you sad?
Because I was trying to grow this Count Dooku beard out, but I just couldn't get it in time for the stream. So I'm really upset about it.
You tried.
Me neither.
I will try. Wrong movie, but but no, I'm doing good, guys. Chase, how are you doing today?
Good. I'm super excited. I grew up with the prequels, so I like them.
Yeah, that's exactly why we brought you on, because we from what we understood, you love Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and which we find that awesome.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome, man. Like that's why we wanted to bring you on, so we could get your thoughts about Episode 2.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I don't really dislike any of the Star Wars films, so that doesn't mean I like everything that happens in them. But yeah,
yeah,
sure.
like exactly. Like we're the same way. Like we like all things Star Wars. Like some of them are like better than others, or they're something that another movie does. We're just like, okay. But like we love all Star Wars, like that's what our channel's about. So we're going to be speaking very positively as we can on for Star Wars Episode 2.
Yeah, man, we try, and obviously it's no secret. This for a lot of people, this is their least favorite of the franchise. So, or at least this or Phantom Menace. Yeah, that's just general consensus, right? But I think it's interesting that that's not the case with you. What if in your ranking? Where would you put this? Put this flick?
All right. I did a ranking that was so long ago. And I can't open up the thing on my phone. So let me think about it for a second.
Yeah, just like to
I
take
like
your
it,
best
but
guess.
it's not up there. It's not. But people get mad at me whenever I say that like 3 is like one of my least favorites.
I think that's interesting.
That's
that's fine. Like because like I can understand some of the point of views of like why that would be on the bottom of a lot of people's list.
Okay. So if you guys want like the short story, I was born in 98, and then in 1999, 1 came out, and so like the first thing I ever saw was 1 on VHS. Like, blah. So like 3 years later, whenever 2 came out, like that was a really big deal for me because I was a little more coherent. And then the third one was the first one I got to see like in theaters in 2005. I was 7. I wasn't really familiar with the originals. I don't think my dad showed them to me yet because I was so young that like I don't think he wanted to like throw me off, and it was like titled Episode 1, and it was So like the first time ever being introduced to Star Wars, it was lightsabers at like this kind of pace, and like it looked that good, and like I for whatever reason like just had this like attachment to Padme. So like whenever she has her destiny in the third chapter, me at 7, not knowing at all how any of the movies would go, and was just like sitting. Like I was 7 and I watched my favorite person ever like die in front of my eyes, and it like traumatized me emotionally.
Yeah.
But no, that's awesome because like that's kind of like how we did it. Like we like for me, I watched The Phantom Menace before like any of the originals because I didn't get it what was going on. I was just so fascinated with like the lightsaber battles and all these like unique characters. So like we kind of had like a similar story. So that's awesome. And we appreciate you sharing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so before actually we get started, let me address some of the chat real quick. Filthy Dan, remember to hit that like button, y'all. Yes, please do that and like and share our channel because it does help us so we can continue providing you all with great content. Video Tasties lives. Where's the Annie key? Is that supposed to be a Anakin pun?
Yeah.
Because you got me.
Annie!
Uh-oh. I hear a spoon.
Uh-oh. Dude, that's like the spoon in Get Out, dude. You can hear it before you know it's there.
Oh, gosh. If freaking Jason Voorhees here did it. No, Chad in the house. What's up, Chad? Which, by the way, if you all have not catch it already, the second trailer for My Special Boy, a Friday the 13th fan film, dropped yesterday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And me and Brad and a lot of the Stream Demons released our trailer reactions. And, of course, Josh from over at Camp Blood Media. We did a bunch of our trailer reactions. So be sure to go to all of our channels and help just to kind of like see our reactions because it was an amazing, amazing trailer.
Yeah, it was. We had a really good time with it. I had a blast.
Erica, how are you doing? We're glad you're here. It'll be interesting to watch this one again. I think of all the Star Wars films, I've watched this one the least, so I don't remember everything. So, Erica, we are glad to have you here, and we will refresh your memory on episode 2.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely. So, guys, we got it at 1 second, and we're going to wait about another 30 seconds before I do our countdown. And then I'll do like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and play. And that's how we'll do it. So we'll give it about 20 seconds.
Oh,
you got it.
I feel like this episode is more blue. So
yes, it is, dude.
Yeah, I got the blue light on too.
Wait,
the first one I had the red light.
What's better?
I like that one.
This?
The other one, the one right before that. It's kind of got your room a blue hue to it. Cool. I dig it. Yeah, man. So since you guys talked about your story with the movie, this one's kind of interesting to me. It came out for me, I guess, 2002? Was it 2002 or 2003 when this thing came out?
I believe it's 2002.
2002. I don't know. For some reason, I guess I was like in middle school or something like that. And I didn't watch it when it came out. And I was a huge Star Wars fan. I grew up with the original trilogy. I actually rather enjoyed Phantom Menace as a kid. I mean, I think it was 9 when it came out. And I don't know I think I was at that age where I wasn't really going to the movies because, my dad he doesn't like to go to the movies because, it costs money. And
that's why he built one at his own home.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think I just skipped it. And then I did see Revenge of the Sith when it came out and didn't, kind of jump from Phantom Menace to Revenge of the Sith and didn't watch this one until a few years later. And I guess there was just a time frame there between, 5th grade and graduating high school where I wasn't into movies as much, but it was interesting. And then I went back and watched it. And I mean, like I said, I don't hate any of these movies. I'm always in the mood to watch them regardless of which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
But, I just, I didn't like the, for a while, this was the longest one of the bunch, I think, until Last Jedi came out, if I'm not mistaken. And I had mixed feelings about it when I first watched it, but I still watch it every time. I have a good time with it.
Well, I'm glad you did, man. So I guess it's time to go ahead and play the movie. What did you all say?
Let's give it a whirl.
All right, guys, we're going to do the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and play.
Got it.
I'm at 5 seconds in the Century Fox thing just popped up.
Right, yeah,
Yep.
that's where I
Yep.
am.
Yep.
And now I got Lucasfilms coming up.
Absolutely. So one
All
thing
right.
I think one of the strongest things about this movie, and we'll get into it, is the score, the John Williams score. I think the
Yes.
love theme.
Emotional.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. Especially, it's like the. I turn my volume down a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, let us know if you can hear the movie because we don't want a copy strike.
Yeah, but like just the Blu-ray, it plays that love theme in the background before you hits play, and that's a great freaking song, man. Great track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when Anakin goes on Tatooine, like that score is amazing. Like it's kind of like a different version of Duel of the Fates.
Yeah, and it's got a little bit of the Empire March, Imperial March theme in there. I think. I think. So.
Whenever I was younger, my dad used to always like put on this like trailer guy voice and read me the crawls. And so I have this habit of like every time I show someone Star Wars for the first time, I'm like, Star Wars episode whatever.
I do that all the time. Like even by myself, I'm like Star Wars and try to be all epic as all get out.
I could totally see that.
Dot.
Yeah, video tasties. 2002, I was 29, seeing all from Return of the Jedi onwards in cinema on release. Wow. Dude, you're so lucky. I would have killed to watch Return of the Jedi in theaters.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
My dad said that every Star Wars film opens up when it pans, it opens up with at least several ships and a planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way it does do that.
Every single one of them. Even the new trilogy did that, and it's cool. I like. I do one thing right off the bat I like about this movie too is how it jumps ahead a few years from Phantom Menace. Mm-hmm. So Anakin's a little bit older, and he can actually do stuff instead of accidentally blowing up ships and stuff.
So do you guys? I get not into arguments, but like whenever people are like, ooh, it's so gross whenever they get together. But it's like, I don't know if anybody realizes this, but Padme's character, when she's queen of the entire planet, she's 14 in the first movie, her character. And that's why that's like such a big deal, is that she's like so calm and like mature and like saved everybody at like 14. And he's like 10 or 11. So like 10 years later, it's not the craziest thing that like a 21-year-old and a 24-year-old would.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It doesn't really bother me at this point because they're older in this one. Like, I mean, it's kind of, if you think about it in the last, I don't know. I could see why it would be a little weird just when you go from the first one to this, but at this point, like it's like a separate time frame, and they're older. They're old enough to where it's not weird in this, and it makes sense. It doesn't bother me at all.
What did you think about that? Because I started crying the first time I saw that.
I was like, oh damn, he jinxed everybody. So yeah, I caused him to be responsible for everybody's death.
Yeah.
I also have a crush on Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Hey, I do too. I love Natalie Portman.
We all do. That was Home Alone.
Sorry, you're saying something. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a good way to it's a good way to start this thing off with a bang, man. Just to kind of get off to an exciting start.
Heck yeah. Erica says, I was in high school when this one came out. I remember I was still in a crush stage with Ewan McGregor, so there was a haze over the prequels' faults. I guess my judgment was clouded. No, freaking McGregor, he's a phenomenal actor. So, and the thing I just thought was funny about this movie, they really made him look like Jesus. Like, because they do like a lot of like the memes and jokes. It's like, I replaced his frame of Jesus with McGregor as Obi-Wan, and my mom doesn't seem to notice a difference.
Yep.
He does
I
kind of
think
resemble.
Yoda's so cute.
Yeah, Yoda's awesome. So is
I
Grogu.
remember watching. I didn't finish. I meant to, but I didn't finish the. Was watching the Phantom Menace one, and you guys are talking about the puppet thing, and I had a VHS version where it's still the puppet, and
Puppet.
it always scared me. And I actually like that it's CGI. I know it doesn't look the greatest now, but it's like I like the continuity between 1, 2, and 3. And the puppet in episode 1 was, to me, it looked so big, and it didn't look like in part 5. You know, in part 5 when we meet Yoda for the first time, and he's this tiny little thing, and he's like, "Meow, meow." Like he was adorable. Like, and I think that even though he's CGI, he still looks adorable because. I never realized until rewatching this episode like a year ago to like do it for my channel. I always thought that he kind of looked bigger as well, but when they really do like wider shots and people are standing and you see Yoda scaled to someone, he's so tiny. Like you can really pay attention. Like because he gets a lot of close-ups, but you don't realize that like the background of his close-ups, everything behind him, like a chair, is like so huge. Oh, I'm doing too much.
Did y'all notice behind Padme right there is actually Rose Byrne?
Rose Byrne from
Rose
Insidious.
Byrne.
And Bridesmaids.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until now. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it would have been cool if she had a bigger role. She
did, and it got cut out.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, it's like that. I could see her like have a bigger role.
Yeah, she was
Jar
pretty
Jar.
good.
Jar Jar doesn't deserve a bigger role.
He got a major reduction in this one, dude.
I liked Jar Jar whenever I was younger, and I still was like didn't complain that he wasn't in the second one as much. Like it's like, yeah, you know, we've been there, we've done that character. We don't, you know.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing more we can do with him. Like he's the Dark Lord, the Sith, secretly. So Filthy. Remember to definitely keep volume down. Don't want this to be like my 7 watch party. Yeah, I hate that for you, man. Just because like 7 is such a good movie, and just for them to do that to what they did to your video, it's so wrong.
What happened?
They'll just have to watch it again.
Yeah, like apparently, like he had I think from what I understood, the volume went up, and they blocked his video. So that's like why the voluming is very important when you do these watch parties.
Most definitely.
Oh, Erica, we have to take a moment to appreciate that we live in a universe where Grogu exists now. Yeah, Chase, have you seen any of The Mandalorian?
I see Grogu back there. Yeah.
I cried a lot during that show. I mean, the tiniest thing, because it felt like real Star Wars, like the original trilogy.
Yep.
Yes.
They would, someone would move their head a certain way, and I'd be like, ah.
It really did, dude. This is the age thing doesn't bother me here, but Anakin is a little creepy at some of these moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did just try to give Padme the creepy eyes right there. I'm like, yeah.
But she's not into it if you pay attention. She's like, stop looking at me like that. And it's when he stops trying so hard and is kind of just like goofy is when she's like, oh, look at that poor little lost soul.
Yeah. Yeah, it's totally, the first little bit where they're doing all this stuff, like he keeps throwing out the creepy vibes and she keeps shutting him down. And then later, obviously things kind of smooth out for them. I think
that's what.
Go
ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I think with a better script writer, when it comes to dialogue and whatnot, I think their story could have been enhanced a little bit and made, because I kind of like the way that, they end up getting together and that's being, the parents of Luke and Leia, but I think just the dialogue through some of it kind of throws me off.
I wonder, I think I classify them as more of a tragedy than a love story because I think he has an infatuation with her and that's not healthy. But I think that she had honest love for him and got her heartbroken, and then
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
because of she died with a broken heart. Yeah, like it all makes sense that way.
like
it's
a Romeo
totally
and Juliet thing.
yeah, it's totally a tragedy, and you can feel that throughout this movie. Even the theme by John Williams when they're together, like I mean, it's a good mix of tragedy and love, I guess.
I call that good anxiety.
Exactly, it gives you that. It gives you that, and it's totally what it is because you know how things go in Revenge of the Sith. I like that. Yeah, I think that's my favorite aspect of their story together is the fact that you know how it's going to end, and I think some better writing could have really made it epic.
Right.
I
J-Man says, just saying, hey, caught up in Walmart right now. J-Man, we appreciate you just joining in real quickly. We really do appreciate that.
Yeah, dude. We showed that Lethal Weapon trailer earlier, by the way.
Yeah, we did. So we're excited for Real Men on March the 1st. Filthy Dan, Jar Jar should contract smallpox. Yeah.
Maybe he does. Maybe that's why his skin is so patchy.
Oh, gosh. Damn it, Jar Jar. Video Tasty. Did anyone catch the prequel 3D releases about 10 years ago? I don't think I've seen any of them in 3D.
How was it?
They only did the Phantom Menace, I believe.
That's right, they did. I remember.
They did the Phantom Menace in 3D, and it didn't get a turnout, and they were like, "Shit, we're not." They just dropped. They literally. It was in theaters for like a week. I was the only person there.
That sucks. It would have been cool. I liked. I did see Force Awakens and I think Last Jedi in 3D. And woo, yeah, that was fun. I liked that. That was pretty cool.
I have a lot of love for the sequels because my grandfather, who was born on the same day, he was born May 25th. So on his 26th birthday, he took my dad, who was 8, and my uncle, who was like 6, and his wife, my grandma, on his birthday to go see Star Wars opening day, May 25th. And so like the fact that he's like 70 now and he got to take me and my dad to The Force Awakens was like a really emotional thing too.
That's super cool, dude. That's super cool. And yeah.
What do you think about their oh sorry. I keep
you're good. You're good. Go right ahead.
What do you think about their banter and their kind of relationship? Like you say, like it's not the best dialogue, but they're still like when I still just like buy into it, I'm like, yeah, I kind of love that they just kind of like punch back at each other. Like
I do too. I like that.
They're like total opposites. Like Obi-Wan is the more mature and calm approach. Just take everything a nice, easy approach, while Anakin is just a young, brash kid who doesn't know any better, trying to learn his way of being the Jedi he becomes in Episode 3. And like their relationship works, but as Brad already said, their dialogue is just what really holds it back.
I like their. I really do like their dynamic with each other. I think their friendship is one of the best things about these prequels, and just kind of and I would have liked to seen it fleshed out a little bit more. Like some of the stuff when they're talking, like in the elevator, they're like, "Oh, remember when I fell down in the pit and you had to save my ass?" And all that. Like I would have liked to see some of that stuff like actually happen. You know, like maybe if
Clone Wars
like,
TV show.
Yeah, I was about to say. I bet some of that stuff is
Dave Filoni does it, so it's better writing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Then yeah, I've been wanting to watch those just because I've heard they're pretty awesome.
You have not seen it?
No, I haven't seen any of the. I haven't seen that or the Rebel show either.
I've only seen season
Rebels
1
either.
But I've heard they're fantastic. I just like I don't watch a lot of cartoons, so it kind of throws me off a little bit.
I had that
actually. I don't really watch it
with my dad. He's 50, and I had been telling him for years. I'm like, watch it, and he's like, the prequels aren't even my thing. I grew up with the OG trilogy. I'm like, whatever, just do it. And
dude, Shia LaBeouf,
this year just now did it. Yes, just do it. When they did their newest season on Disney Plus, I was like, you have to watch it because the way that it gets the animation gets so beautiful that there's parts when they're on different worlds and planets and they do like an outer shot and you'd believe that it was real. And like they do space battles and it looks better sometimes than the prequel CGI. Like,
yeah, I could see that.
Premiere is like, I was like 8 when the first season was out, so it definitely transitions into being better. But
yeah, I've heard they're fantastic, and they've always been on my watch list. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it, but it's going to happen.
Well, we'll pull the trigger. We'll pull the trigger on like these live streams here.
Yeah.
I remember whenever they took it off Netflix, and it was my first time like watching it all the way through as an adult. Because I watched like the first 2 seasons live when I was a child, and I stopped. And they took it off Netflix right whenever I was watching it, so I bought this. Wait.
There we go.
Oh yeah,
nice. I remember seeing that box at Best Buy.
Yeah, I think I've seen it out and about. That's cool, man. So how many seasons are there of that?
There's the theatrical movie, and then there's this 5-season box set, and then like several years later it got picked up for like half of a season, and then there's those lost episodes, and then so there's like 7 seasons in total, but like season 6 is only 12 episodes and season 7 is only like 12 or something episodes, but like all the other ones have like 20 something, and they're like 20 minutes a piece.
That's not bad.
And if you go on the Star Wars like website, they have like a timeline for them.
Okay, cool.
And it'll be like you're supposed to watch like season 3 episode 4, and then season 1 episode 2, and then you watch the movie, and then you like it'll tell you exactly what episodes and where to watch what, and it'll show you like because it's meant to be like a visual comic book because it aired on Cartoon Network, so like any kid at any time could just watch this 20-minute thing and understand what was going on. But if you watch them in a row, it's a cohesive story.
Yes. Chris, what's going on, buddy?
Hey.
How was the Hatchet
Chris.
reunion? It's not a reunion. It's kind of like a get together. Like all the famous actors and actresses from the Hatchet franchise did like a live online Q&A. So, Chris, how was that?
So what do you guys think about this opening here? I like, I really, once they get down to like the ground, I'm a big fan of Coruscant. So obviously this is a good, you get to see a lot more of Coruscant here, and then they get even onto the streets of Coruscant here in a minute, which I think is pretty cool. So I like seeing Coruscant fleshed out a little bit more. I think at times it's a little bit much for me with how ambitious they're trying to be with all the CGI and whatnot. And you know, Obi-Wan floating or riding that little thing around, but overall, I really kind of like this scene as a way of getting more Coruscant here. What do you guys think about it?
Yeah, like I love the underground stuff, like with Coruscant, because it's something unique. I wish we can explore that more in the future for future Star Wars shows or movies, because it looked really cool when they did it, and I wish they would have dragged that out a little bit more. But yeah, I didn't have a problem that much just with exploring all of Coruscant. It just to give like Coruscant, like the planet, kind of like a background.
Yeah, it puts some life into Coruscant.
I love it. I was always interested by the fact that it's apparent, like I guess the whole city is the whole planet or something.
Right. Yeah.
And to loop back around to the TV show, they do a lot of great like story arcs where they're like a prisoner or somebody escapes and they go underneath and like down into like the poor parts of the planet, and so you're like, it's hard to explain, but like they go to like the broke people, and there's like homeless crime everywhere, and so like you said it would be awesome to see that in like a new TV show or something, and like it really would to be like to see like such a rundown nice place.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Ooh, Video Tasties with a great question. If George Lucas made these pre-CGI, how would that have affected the story? Yeah, for the prequels, I think it would enhance it a little bit.
Yeah, I think
because like to me, like I don't mind CGI as long as you just use it right. And I feel like in Star Wars with these prequels, they just overuse it.
I think so.
That's
yeah, I think so. I think you hit it right there, Brett. I think it would because in the original movies you get a little bit more emphasis on the characters themselves.
And there's more sets, and the sets are pretty. And if there's if there's somewhere, it's like a really nice painted backdrop.
Yeah, and it still feels real. Like when you watch it, it feels less dated than some of this stuff does.
Like the Cloud City, yeah.
Yeah, Cloud
like
City.
That.
Cloud City's cool, and Hoth as well. I mean, I love the look of that. But yeah, I think yeah, he did better with the character stuff and really feeling the atmosphere in the originals. And I think a lot of times in these prequels, the story is there, but a lot of times I feel like he went out of his way to incorporate CGI into some of these sets, as opposed to letting the story kind of build it for you. But yeah, that's kind of my take on it. What about that little change up there with the assassin where she changed?
Scared me the first time I saw it.
The first time I was like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah, I was like, okay, is this Chameleon like from Spider-Man or I had no idea, but yeah, again, it doesn't bother me just because it's different. Like,
oh yeah, it's cool. I just yeah.
What's up, Tom? How are you doing?
Hello.
Tommy, what's going on?
We're about to get to that lower level of Coruscant that we were talking about. See, like, it would have been so cool to explore all this.
They go under it eventually, like
That's so cool.
down, like the core of the city.
Yeah, like the
is
underground
still a city as well.
Yeah, this is cool. Just putting a little life into Coruscant.
Because those are all people there, and that's fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You would think Anakin would use some force speed in this situation.
Hey, you're only allowed to do that in that one scene in The Phantom Menace. Those are the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, Disney's like, screw the rules. We have money. We can do whatever we want.
This is nifty, man.
I think they really were just like, let's just story build. No one's ever seen anything this visually stunning.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they also might have thought I think they honest to God thought that maybe practical effects weren't going to be as loved as they are. And maybe they thought like, oh, why spend thousands and thousands of dollars on this puppet when I can just do it on a computer and not have to worry about all of this pre-production shit.
Exactly.
And it probably just did not go as planned. And they were like, okay, well, let's just do the best with what we got.
That's at the point, like, where later, like, Obi-Wan's like, or Ewan McGregor, rather, is just freaking having to talk to himself in a room, a blue room at that. And it's just
awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the best, someone explained it, is that the reason they don't really do practical effects anymore, it's just it takes up too much time, like in production and like to get a movie out. And people, we live in an era where movies need to like get out there, like lickety split. So that's why they go more towards CGI because it's just so much quicker. And I want to say it's cheaper, but like it gets the job done more to create a movie, which I really, really wish we go back to practical effects because the more real you can make something, the better your movie's going to be.
This is a cool little scene, though. Did you see the sports there a minute ago? They had the pod racing up and the little wheelie football thing. That was cool.
Yeah,
they used to have real life games of those at the time. They were like little. I don't know.
Look at Obi-Wan doing the Lord's work.
This is obviously this is a flashback back to New Hope, where old Ben Kenobi goes into the cabana there.
Yeah, video tasting. Isn't C-3PO actor in the bar? I never knew that.
Oh,
probably. I think I actually think I do remember. This is one of the actual sets that they made for the movie. Is this bar?
Yeah, the that blue girl who's like twirling her appendage,
like tentacle, or
yeah, that's George Lucas's daughter.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
That girl holding the drink that just like.
Oh, that's awesome. See, again, like I love learning those little small details about movies.
Yeah, this is where they threw in their cameos. That's a cool. Yeah, the death sticks. Erica said down here. Would you like some death sticks? Dang it.
Yeah.
Would you like to buy some death sticks? You will go home and rethink your life.
I need to go home and rethink
my life.
This is where we get our first bit of the dark side of Anakin. And bam. There's see. One of my favorite parts of the movie. We don't get to see him quite just yet, but it's coming.
This is a cool way to start things off, though, man. I like the story behind this. I like and then him starting to track down the assassin.
It's exposition, and I
Yeah.
accept it for what it is.
I do as well.
Something that always pissed me off though was how that librarian was like, "If it's not in our records, it doesn't exist." And I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?" Like,
Like, ain't that your job as the librarian? Is to make sure it's updated?
yeah,
Instead, you just let a freaking kid just do your job in Yoda's class.
Oh, Las Plantitas.
I like that. Do it again.
Don't y'all kind of wish Samuel L. Jackson just was allowed to be Samuel L. Jackson in this movie?
I'm tired of these motherfucking Siths and this motherfucking.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great. If a Yoda like, Samuel, I like. Oh, there's my favorite Jedi Master right there, Plo Koon.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, if you like him, then in the Clone Wars series, he's like a main character.
Oh, see, I will absolutely love that.
Bert
Just
sold.
because I know he's the best pilot of like other than Anakin.
I also like seeing this guy's manipulation in the way that it's like, you know, part of the reason that Anakin's story is so sad is because of like the tragedy with his real mom and like things that are like going on with him here, and I can see like the loss of everything that he went through like makes me understand that he was probably completely soul crushed and confused. And once he gets all like fighting with Obi-Wan and he gets chopped up and loses, when he's like, "I hate you," I don't think he actually hates him. I think he's brokenhearted that he's been bested and then he can't turn back now. He's done unfathomable things.
Right.
And so whenever the Emperor comes and saves him and he like wakes up and he's like, "Where's Padme?" He's like, "Oh, you whatever." And he's like, "No," like even though the no is not it, I tear up because it's like, imagine losing everything and then the person you love the most was gone, and then now you're essentially he's an abused slave to the Emperor. He can't go anywhere, he can't breathe on his own, he can't walk, he can't think, he can't he's essentially a slave, and that's horrible, and he knows that. He knows for the rest of his life he just has to be a fucking whipping dog. Like,
yeah, right you are, and I think that's exactly why. And I hate to bash George Lucas because I think he's so creative, and obviously he brought all this
Yeah,
to
be
us.
nice to George Lucas, because without George Lucas, there is no Star Wars.
But I think if he would have delegated the writing and directing of the prequels, I think the story that's provided through this, the tragedy, the rise and fall of Anakin, I think the story itself could have beaten the original trilogy story, man.
I think it could have been darker too.
Yeah, much darker, man. And I think, and you see shades of it here, and that's why I'm still drawn to the prequels for what they are. But I think if you had somebody in there that really could have taken the story into a dark direction, I mean, you're talking freaking epic stuff, man.
Hell yeah. I'm absolutely in love with her, like in awe.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
I don't know why.
Even more than Anakin.
Probably 100%. Like I literally like just look at her dress and I'm like, of course she would wear that dress. Why would she not?
Okay, then I would trust you with Padme than Anakin.
Yeah,
she'd still be alive if I wiped her up.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of my Darth Jar Jar reference, Misa Civilorsa. Oh my! You behave yourself.
So speaking of the Clone Wars, I have had this since I was, I don't know, like 7 or 8.
Yes, I love that.
A Clone Wars version of Padme.
Oh, that's cool. Like I know they had like the episode 2 one. I didn't know they actually made it at the Clone Wars series.
I got this for like Christmas last year, and there's like, yeah.
That's cool. That's such a good look.
Focus.
They do all kinds of crazy stuff with her hair here too. It's like different throughout the whole movie.
And I like the Princess Leia vibes because it's like they didn't have the money back then to do the first Star Wars, so he literally was just like, "Guess you're gonna have this one hair and outfit." Like, this is kind of the things he wanted to do. Like,
yeah, they do that a lot with her.
Yeah. Erica, this is where Anakin really got on my nerves. Yes, the kid didn't bother me so much. It was when he popped up here, I was like...
Well, did you see that creepy look he just gave? It's like, you will be. Well,
yeah, like...
But
yeah,
that's just men. Men tend to do that. Like, and they think it's sweet. They're like, I'm just going to ogle you. Like,
yeah, but there's Padme like, if he does have one more damn time.
She's like, yeah, Council, can I get a new Jedi? This one's too touchy-feely.
Yeah, I'll take Kawadi Mundai, the Conehead one.
Yeah, he would have done a very good job.
He was doing very well last night.
Since you guys haven't seen the Clone Wars, what did you think about Ahsoka being on The Mandalorian? Like, did you know about that character?
Oh, like, I've seen bits of the Clone Wars, so I knew all about Ahsoka and like what her role was supposed to be. So I was thrilled when she showed up in Mandalorian, and she in badass episode.
I've never seen this right here. I'm about to answer your question, but I like this little moment here between Obi-Wan and Anakin, just kind of showing him off to do his own thing, being like, all right, you're on your own for this period. Go make me proud.
Yes.
And
yeah, but don't you kind of find that was a little bit of a mistake, separating them apart?
I don't really have an issue with it. I mean, I would have liked to see more of their friendship. I think it's more so because you really only have this one movie before he turns to the dark side to develop their friendship. So, but if you throw in, I don't know, I do think it's a little bit of a mishap, but you also had to get that love story going on too. So you had to get him and Anakin off on their own.
Maybe the Clone Wars to me make the prequels better because you spend so much time and get so much more of the things.
That's what I was about to say. If you see the Clone Wars, then yeah.
I think the end of the last season, like the last 2 or 3 episodes, are happening at the same time as episode 3, and you get different perspectives from scenes that were like.
That's so cool.
Going on, yeah.
But to get back to your question about Ahsoka,
yes.
I never saw the Clone Wars, but I've heard about her a lot, just through Facebook groups and things like that, and articles that I've read, and little videos that I've watched here and there.
There's child Ahsoka.
Yeah,
and I knew she was badass. So I was really looking forward to seeing her do the live action thing. And then once she came on, she tore it up, and I'm like, this is awesome. And that's kind of when I really wanted to start getting into the Clone Wars stuff, is once she came up, and then obviously you had some others. You had the Thrawn introduction and all that too, sort of. And so I thought it was awesome, even though I never saw her before. I thought it was fantastic.
I hope this doesn't sound ridiculous, but like, I'm thinking about it. Like, I literally can't think of another answer if someone were to be like, "Who's your favorite Jedi?" Like, I think it would literally have to be her. Like, and can you guys just watch the Clone Wars, please?
We'll watch it.
Yeah, like we'll talk about we'll watch like 3 episodes, or just depending on how long they are, and we might do it that way or something.
Man, it's a lot of good. I've just never seen somebody be compromised in so many different ways, but never have to compromise themselves or their morals. And like, it's like what you want Anakin to do. It's like she learns everything good from Anakin, and then like isn't completely irrational and emotional about things. Like, so I don't know.
There's your librarian, Chase.
Yeah, my favorite person. I always feel so comforted by her.
She looks like somebody from Resident Evil.
Man, I haven't.
Chase, if you're still in the comment section, let us know if that's true. If the librarian does look like somebody from Resident Evil.
What do you guys think about the whole like Camino water planet thing?
I thought that was awesome.
That was cool.
Man. Obviously, there's still a lot of CGI there in the movie, but like when you go there there was a map in Battlefront 2, the one that they did on the Xbox a few years ago, not the original. And I always thought it was cool. I was intrigued by that planet. I thought it was cool. The whole thing's just water and rainy. It's cool.
Yeah. I love different types of monsters, and well, I hate to say monsters, but just like that's what I love about the prequels is that it's like there's more world building, and it's like nothing will be greater than Carrie Fisher and that original feeling. But it's like this is good in the way that it's like we go to like 9 different planets and like however many different scenes, and it's like, oh, I just really understand how this galaxy works. Like there's
Exactly.
they're like, let's just put an alien here because we can. Like and ET lives in this universe.
Oh. E.T. no force. No. Erica says Obi-Wan was just too by the book for him. Obi-Wan unintentionally already started becoming his enemy. Yeah, like I can actually see but I always felt like Obi-Wan was always by the book. And then like Qui-Gon was trying to teach him like, hey, it's okay to not always go by the book. Like, because Qui-Gon was just like in the belief of like, oh, I'm not going to follow your rules, but I'm still going to uphold like the Jedi morals, not just by like your rules and all that, because the rules hold you back from what you're supposed to do. So it's kind of like almost a reference between like the Sokovia Accords, like in the Marvel universe, and like how the Jedi do it.
Did you guys know that Obi-Wan Kenobi has had a girlfriend?
No, was that from the Clone Wars?
No, it's during the Clone Wars, and so that's why he's like kind of letting Anakin off the hook, because he's like, I literally understand what you're going through, so I'm not going to say anything.
Huh. Interesting. Look at that! Look at those younglings. They grow up so fast.
No, they don't.
Too soon.
Oh, God, too soon.
Sorry.
Missing planet he's got here.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that doesn't sound like that. Video Tasties. A lot of Australian and NC actors in this. Yeah, I can see. I do notice that a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like the original and the sequel trilogy have a lot of British actors in it.
They do.
That's true.
I mean, even here you got Mr. Ewan in here, right? He's British, right?
He's something. I think he's like Irish or something.
Yeah, he's somewhere in that.
Scottish, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm Scottish. I know you guys can't tell, but I have like a red beard.
No, I couldn't tell.
Everyone asks me, they're like, and I'm like, yeah, this is why I shave.
Erica says, I'm watching them chase. Excited to see more Ahsoka. Yeah, just from everything I got to saw, Ahsoka is like one of the best new developed characters out there.
Yes, absolutely. If Erica's watching that for the first time, I really, really hope that you love all of the surprises in it. And all of the heartbreak. There's a lot of heartbreak. Also, Yoda reminds me of my grandpa.
I think Yoda's everybody's grandpa for it's just Yoda just comes out of his pocket going, butterscotch candy, you will?
Oh my gosh. Look at this. I like this
I love that building.
Like, yeah, man. This
it's got to be one of my favorite planets. Or that like really pretty like neon place. Nah, I feel like that's why I love about the first one, the Phantom Menace, is like that ending battle that's like taking place on those grassy fields. I grew up in Ohio, and it looks identical to like Naboo. So like when I see it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm just like thrilled. So that's where I would live. But where do you think you guys would live, like if you could?
Like in a Star Wars world?
Yeah, like what planet?
You
don't have to live there forever, but you can have like a house there, you know.
Like an igloo house?
Oh, you know how like people have like vacation houses and stuff?
I would so have a tree house in freaking indoor. And have all the freaking little Ewoks, and we all do like the little dancing parties and all that. Brad
Indoor's
hates
a
when I
good
do the
bet.
Ewok
I
dance.
Well,
think
that's
though.
if they don't eat you.
I was gonna say indoor could be scary though. I could see there being a lot outside of the Ewoks. There's probably snakes. There's probably all kinds of scary shit out there in the jungle.
That's
I
true.
like. I was gonna say I can't think of the name of it. Starts with a T from Force Awakens, where Maz Katana, her little thing is at. That place looks pretty nice.
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
They got a
the
nice
name of
lake
that.
there. They got woods out there.
Sheriff? No.
It's
No.
I would easily. What would I choose?
I just realized I have my old 8 iPhone. I'm just gonna go.
It starts
man.
with a T, dude. If I had to put money on it, I would say it starts with a T.
Well,
I like.
I guess I would go Naboo for me. Oh, sorry, Brad. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Mustafar.
Oh gosh, Mustafar.
No, are we kidding me, dude? I'd be out there freaking. Oh God. Oh, come on.
I would
would
just
be
pick
alone.
that. I would just pick
You would
Naboo.
have a
That's just like the
bachelor
most
pad.
simplest planet.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I knew it started with an S though. I would go to Scarif for sure. I mean, I wouldn't want to stay there forever because I'd get blown up. But like, if I could just go there for a little while, it's just
That
beaches,
beachy
man.
planet from Rogue
Yeah,
One.
exactly.
Dude, yes, the beach, like what the beach is.
Yeah, perfect freaking vacation
Yes.
home, man. It was nice out there. That was, oh my gosh, that was one
But
of
the
the best.
throwouts, I do love the Jedi ships.
Oh, these little
Okay.
things with the light speed boosters.
Yes, like that just always looks so cool to me. Like one of my favorite ships in the entire Star Wars.
I love water. I love anything that's underwater, around water, in water.
So you like the Gungan City?
I that's one of my I love the whole submarine thing. I don't know
Mhm.
why. I watched Titanic really, really young, and like watching it sink for whatever reason, I was like, why? I want to see it at the bottom of the ocean. Like, why don't we see that? And like, I don't. It
Dude.
just like established this like. I went through this whole thing of like wanting to be like a scuba diver and just like it's so unexplored. So like I love any underwater scene anywhere ever because the concept of like having to hold your breath and discover shit that you can't like.
For some reason, I'm like it's sort of a little bit different, but I do love scenes that have to do with water, man. Like Titanic, I always put that. I watched it as a kid all the time, dude. I'd put that second VHS in and just watch it. I don't know what that says about me as a person, but I love the water coming in. I love the freaking like there was a movie with
It's aesthetic. It's just
yeah, there was a movie with my boy Heath Slater and Morgan Freeman called Hard Rain from the
Heath
90s.
Slater, who the hell is that?
He's freaking awesome, man. He's from True Romance guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the wrestler. I'm like, Heath Slater, what?
What is his name? I may have gotten that wrong. I think it's something. Either way,
I think you're way
Christian
off.
Slater.
Christian Slater. Yeah. Sorry.
I was gonna say because I just watched Heather's like the other day, and I was like, "Is he talking about Christian Slater?"
Christian Slater is exactly who I'm talking about. But there's one called Hard Rain with him and Morgan Freeman, where it's a city and it's flooding the whole movie. I don't think it's a good movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I don't know. I used to watch that a lot. They're riding jet skis around.
You were right about that planet. It starts with a T. It's like Takodana. I don't know,
yeah.
like not showing up.
Takodana. Okay, yeah, that sounds familiar.
Takodana.
What about Katu or not Katu? Jakku.
Man, nobody wants to go to Jakku.
The
I'm
hell?
gonna go with Jakku.
Why does everyone want to keep going back to Jakku?
This is that scene I was talking about earlier, dude. You get Ewan McGregor, world class actor, and you throw him in a blue room with nothing. Like, could you imagine the room he's actually sitting in right here? What it
Yeah,
looks
like how's he know like who he's talking to? Like he could be like this.
That's Ewan just carrying the show, dude.
That's well, I do that.
Oh, see, look at that house set up right there.
That's awesome.
It depends on what they have. They'll usually have an eyesight marker for them off camera for them to follow and keep. And if they don't, then they'll just let the actor do what they feel is most comfortable for them. And then whenever they go to put that being in there, there's like when you get on like the DaVinci Resolve, like when you like edit like films, like people from my film school have like done like the Marvel movies and stuff. You can like there's like this tool where you can like track someone's something and it'll like track the whole clip and like tell you where their eye line is. So you can just like
That's cool.
It's crazy, yeah. So there's a few different ways. But that's another reason probably why maybe the whole CGI thing didn't go as well, and maybe that's how like some of the dialogue didn't go as well as. And I feel that way for like horror movies is too, because I've done a lot of short films where like you set up a frame and like the shot looks so pretty when you're looking at that individual frame, and then you watch one unedited scene clip and you're like, that's a nice take, and then you're having so much fun on set and there's blood and there's lights and there's good food and you work for however many months that like, and everyone's like really trying to do their best, and so like you see like because you don't get to see everything, you just see like a clip here and a shot there and like cool, we got this done, and then it comes out and you're like, oh. I can't tell you how many short films I am in that I will never post, and how many that I are posted that I will never admit to being in.
Right. I could see that.
They've disowned them like bad children.
Video Tasty, just dropping some more knowledge. And some of the younglings are George Lucas's kids. And then in the next one, George Lucas, what the hell, man?
Erica says,
I just understood what that meant.
She's got me squared away. She's got me squared away with the Christian Slater thing, not Heath Slater,
not the wrestler, or AKA the chick from Wendy's.
So we just had the scene there on Naboo where Anakin talks about the sand and all that, and he gives a little creepy look, and they start kissing.
Of course, irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah,
that's not untrue.
I mean, no, I hate sand too, man. I hate it. It really, you can't get it off either. But it was a decent little moment between them two, despite some of the creepy looks and vibes that he was given. But they kissed.
I think it shows the intensity that she's like, and I think it kind of shows a little bit that he doesn't respect her boundaries. Like, even though that she's like trying, that's what I said. Like, he's more infatuated with her, so he's like, like, and she's kind of just like, I don't know, like, let me just be with you and see how things are going. And you can't not just like, he's trying so hard to like make her understand that he's like, I care for you. But that personally, I've been in situations where someone's like, you're so adorable, please let me take you out. And I'm like, I don't even know you. You're way too into me. And that's a huge turnoff.
Right. Yeah. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. I like this moment here where, right there.
Clones.
Look at all those clones, dude.
And the yellow one right there leading the
squad.
Yeah, and I love when they like do the colors like that. Like you saw that like in the Phantom Menace with the regular battle droids. Some of them were yellow, some of them were blue, just to represent rank. So I always like small details like that.
I love that where you see the clone armor. You can see the Empire kind of being built here. Granted, it's still a little ways off. These are good guys still at this point. This part kills me though, because you got this nice freaking setting, nice little field here, and then you have Anakin freaking surfing a whatever kind of creature that is here in a second.
I call it a space cow.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's essentially what it is.
Even though it's not in space, it's like wholly on a planet, its own planet. It's a space cow.
That's totally, yeah, that's perfect. That's a perfect name. And he's like, he gets up on there and it just doesn't, it's not a bad moment here.
I do agree that it's like, that's one of those times when you're like, okay, you're literally like, you could have done anything to get us to establish that they're having a connection, and you choose this giant thing with a giant butt.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I'll still take Jar Jar and this over that. And even though it's a 2-minute scene or like a 30-second scene in Return of the Jedi, when they went back and re-added that CGI guy in.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I grew up with the original VHS tapes, and there was a little blue elephant guy playing the piano for like several minutes. And I remember like popping the DVDs in when I got older and seeing this, and I'm like, what that to do that to that movie in that scene, to take away a perfectly good, blue, cute, practical puppet that everyone had known for years since like 1980 something.
Yeah.
I
And
think
even that
that is
freaking
way
guy's
more dishonorable and
Here's
disrespectful
your scene, Brad.
look at
than
what is this?
all right. I know that you guys have showed off to try to impress somebody before. Like you thought somebody was cute and we did some playing around like, oh, I'm hurt. Come coddle me. And like,
Hey, it works in this scene.
I never rode a space freaking cow though.
well, now you know what you have to do.
Then we got our traditional Lion King scene right here.
Yeah, that's a decent moment, but I just, like you said, they could have done so many other things to set that up.
Anything. They could have been on
yeah.
a fucking romantic boat on the waterfall.
Yeah, I was actually getting ready to like, why not just like let them go like into the city and like do a little shopping and just like establish their connection there too.
Yeah.
Anything, dude. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, that creature.
Let me get caught up on the chat here because I know Erica said this a minute ago, and she said, I want to get off Tatooine already. Even in Mandalorian, it's like, OMG, why do we need to keep going back to Tatooine? Even if Luke said in many words that we need somewhere new. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Tatooine is such a nostalgic place to go at this point. That's why everything keeps going back there. Even Jakku looks and feels like Tatooine.
Yeah.
And at this point, I just like new stuff, man. That's what's cool about these prequels, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
Planet after planet after planet, and they're all new. Like you get Camino here.
Well, and now it's like we've been there, done that. You know, if we want to see a sandy planet, we'll watch that movie. It's great, you know.
Exactly. I think, to be fair, I think the reason maybe in Mandalorian at least they do that is because it's a TV show. You don't have the budget to build all these other new sets. But they have something kind of consistent.
And it takes place like 6 years there, and they do some like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's still very much a place to be at that point, I guess. But I think for Mandalorian they do that just because they don't have the money to build all these planets, and that's one that everybody's familiar with. So you can just kind of they're more focused on the story. They can just slap it in Tatooine and be done with it, I think. But oh yeah, there's Jango's armor there, dude. Remember that?
Jango Fett, one of the most underutilized characters in Star Wars.
I love that they're both in the same room. Sorry, lag. Go ahead.
No, it's cool. Was he a big part of the Clone Wars series?
Okay, the younger one or the older one?
Jango.
I wouldn't think so because he didn't get ahead in life.
After, yeah.
Everything. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry.
So it goes 1, 2, then the 7 years of Clone Wars, and then episode 3.
Yeah, because Jango didn't make it very far in the Clone Wars.
For some reason, I was thinking it kind of took place over the whole course of the prequels, and I forgot this movie actually does set off the Clone Wars, so it wouldn't make sense.
Like with the little individual movie, the animated series, and that and as Shay said, the Cartoon Network like mini series they did to get you ready for Revenge of the Sith, which I thought that was excellent.
So we don't have much at all about Jango to go on.
Not really.
Sorry, I was getting Erica's real quick. That's the only thing I'm not too excited about with Kenobi. I mean, we will be stuck on Tatooine. Yeah, but I've always been curious about what Obi-Wan Kenobi has done on Tatooine within those 10 years of looking after Luke Skywalker. And if we can get, I think Liam Neeson's coming back to reprise his role as Qui-Gon Jinn. So I'm telling you, that show is going to be awesome.
Qui-Gon. Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. Yeah, and again, it is going back to Tatooine. Yeah, that's not to say he can't bounce around a little bit for a little side quest or something. Maybe, I don't know, but that one does make more sense for me to go back to Tatooine. The Kenobi show does. So I don't know. They'll probably use a lot of the same sets and locations they use for Mandalorian. Save some money.
This is where their connection gets intense.
She changed again,
what's
dude.
hard about it. Yeah, I love this outfit. It's
a good outfit.
Yeah,
and I actually love the lighting they're using here too. Like you can see them, but it's dark, and they're kind of like in a dark moment, kind of like foreshadowing a little bit.
I like that they're pleading with each other. And so it's like, it may not be the greatest dialogue, but I do this all the time with like my best friends and things, like whenever when you like proclaim your love to someone, it's like, it sounds cheesy and cliche. Like,
yeah, there's really no way around that.
And I don't know. Maybe it's just because I have a crush on her and I'm just like, I just have this, like, I just get caught up in the passion and I'm like, yes, let's run away.
I'm haunted by the kiss you should have never given me.
I'm like,
true,
well,
though.
maybe you should have fucking kissed her. Like, I don't know. Like,
but it's true. Have you never had your heart broken or someone you couldn't be with to the point where like it's haunting? Like I literally, like, it's always on the back burner of my mind. Like my adrenaline in my chest won't stop pumping. Like I can't, like I'm physically sick. And he's sensitive because he's gonna have like, well, that's what I think makes the movie really strong, is when we get to the part where he's like having visions of his mom, like,
yes,
like passing. So he's a really like, he's a sensitive thing. And it's not even that it's like sensitive. It's sensitive in a way that's aware. He just knows what's like, he's just aware of how things operate and how people operate. And like I think that's like the fact that he has to struggle with the conflicting factors of don't this and don't that and be a Jedi and all of these rules. And then he's like kind of like he feels so stuck that he kind of like works himself around whenever she was like, I thought Jedi aren't allowed to love. And he's like, well, technically this and that and the other, we're not supposed to have attachment and possession. So one could say we're encouraged to love. Like he's already talking himself around things because he's like, I can't be a person who just like operates like by a, like, I don't know. Like he's force sensitive, but I don't think he was ever interested in that like monk Jedi like
You're right.
life.
You're totally right.
Yeah, kind of like Yoda's ways, and even though that's why the absence of Qui-Gon Jinn is so crucial to the development of Anakin Skywalker, because Qui-Gon could have like had such a huge difference of impact on Anakin's training and his thought process, which Brad always says like a father figure. That's what Qui-Gon Jinn was to Anakin in Episode 1.
And he like found him and like wanted to do the rescuing, like. He saw this, and that's kind of like what sucks about Anakin, is that it's like he was too old and he was too traumatized and he was kind of set up to fail, like instead of realizing who they were dealing with, and like no one just held that boy and like put their hand on his cheek and said, we love you, we got you, everything's gonna be okay, like whatever you need. They just shut him down his whole life. So like he literally just like no one acknowledged his trauma, and like instead of like taking in this boy and helping him to heal and giving him a better mental health state and then giving him powers and helping him become a Jedi, they're like, here's super troubled kid, let's give you a knife, like, and then he went and stabbed everybody. Like what, like you I don't know, I feel like they didn't do the best in handling, and then they kind of blamed him. They're like, well that was him, he was too old. And it was like, you sent him into training completely broken.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
So Qui-Gon probably would have helped with that. Like,
I think he really would, because I think Qui-Gon's personality, the way he's kind of rough around the edges a little bit, would have really meshed well with him. And I think he would have had a little bit more to connect to than Obi-Wan. We are about to get into one of the best freaking scenes of the movie, though. It's freaking Obi-Wan and Jango duking it out on Camino, albeit brief, but it's pretty cool at the same time, where he just kind of gets into it.
Then I should go to the restroom and grab a drink really quick. I'll be as fast as possible.
Yes, we're about to get to the fight scene between Obi-Wan and Jango.
All right, let me see. Is it soon?
I think it's like I want to say...
I think it's after this. Oh, wait a minute. I want to say it's after this scene, and then after Obi-Wan and Jango, that's where we get back to Anakin's dream. No, actually, this is... Okay, yeah, you're good. Because they're going to expand upon this a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, I've had to pee for like 15 minutes. I'm sorry.
All right, you are good.
All right, I'll be right back.
Wait, did you say I'll be right back? Because if you did, you're dead.
Before you go, Jason said that you had some great points.
Oh, yes. Thank you,
Chase is
Jason.
mad he didn't follow Scream 101.
We're not doing something scary right now. So I thought I would be fine. But you're right. I will not be right back. And I'm a virgin. I've never done drugs and I've never drank.
Oh man. Let's address some of the chat real quick. I know you got the great points. Let's see here. Erica, oh yeah, I heard Neeson is coming back. It'll still be a fun one for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Nick, what's going on, man? Hey guys, this movie has ups and downs, but I still watch at least once a year. I'm the same way. Like, I'm still going to watch it just if I'm in that Star Wars marathon mood. And Nick, I did get your package of 3 movies, and that is so nice of you to do. And I thank you so much for that.
I'm gonna watch. Yeah, I think that. Oh shit! What did you just say? What? Yeah.
Or for Erica's comment, or
no, you were talking about something. I had something I was gonna say.
wow, everybody's leaving me. It's like I'm like a Sith Lord or something.
No, I'm here. I had to get the Blu-ray. I had to get my Blu-ray pack for Star Wars because that scene.
Here's the fight.
Well, real quick, that scene popped up where Anakin's sitting there in the garden and he's looking out, and oh yeah, hold on. I'll explain that after.
Yeah, this is
cool.
Yeah, this is like the coolest thing that happens in the middle act.
Yeah, and then it kind of starts off after this. It goes into Obi-Wan chasing or following him, and they go through the asteroid field, and it's really cool. This is awesome though. In the rain, Obi-Wan duking it out with Jango.
Mm-hmm. And then he also has to freaking fight a kid Boba Fett. Like, how the hell are you supposed to win that fight?
And you know what I love about Mando, dude, is this is the way that Boba Fett's a good guy now, right? And it's cool. He started off with this little asshole kid. Like, we almost could have put him in that freaking Exorcist v. Omen Slash It Out episode because he was such an asshole. But like, now he's a good guy, man. It adds so much to Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being completely in awe of this the first time I saw it.
Yeah, this is awesome stuff. I love this.
I just love Mandalorians, like true-blooded Mandalorians.
There's something so intriguing about like their armor and the purpose behind it, and just that like they're like, yeah, we just fly, like, because
yeah, hell yeah.
My light keeps on going out.
And the way this is all in the rain on Camino, it's just a perfect setting for this. I love it.
And it makes for like it. One of the things we learn in film school is make your character's goal achievable, but make it the hardest possible road as possible.
Yes.
And something that is something that can be done. They're like, don't just do this just to do it, but like if it feels right and you can do it, like weather is an element that makes things harder for characters. Like if
sure,
right.
If you're on like a fucking high rise and there's like super strong winds, immediately like everything's amped up. Like, so like the fact that they're falling off this building and it's like wet and raining and slippery, like hell yeah, like, and they're cold. This isn't comfortable.
Yeah,
and Obi-Wan loves to do drop kicks a lot in this scene too.
And this doesn't seem overboard with the CGI here. It actually seems like a pretty good shot, like pretty good cinematography here. You can tell the water at least is real in a lot of these scenes, and it's pretty nifty.
Hell yeah! Sorry, I say that a lot.
Chase, this question's directed to you. Hey Chase, have you seen Closer from 2004? Natalie Portman plays a lap dancer.
Okay.
I have not.
I actually heard of this movie, so I am aware of that movie. From what I understood, it was a good movie. I haven't seen all of it. I just heard of it.
So, Brett, what I was about to say a minute ago is when you went to go use the restroom there, it had that scene of Anakin and Padme, and Anakin's in the garden. He's looking off. I was cool. I got this. I don't know if you have it too. I got the Blu-ray pack here. This was just when there's only 6 movies.
I used to own that.
You had the Blu-ray?
I had that. I used to own that.
Where did it go? Okay, so it's got this artwork in here, though, right? For each movie.
Yeah.
And for Attack of the Clones, it has that sequence. Again, it's art. It's not the actual image. And I always thought that was a really cool shot and a cool little piece here for the set.
That's so pretty. That's like the Alien booklet that I have. That like,
yeah, it's just, I have that. Yeah, and there's episode 3. It's got the ding.
What's the Phantom Menace page?
It was Darth Maul standing out there.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Hey, we're back at Watto here, though.
Yeah, speaking of which, Watto being poor here, that's because of me, as y'all saw in the opening
Did you get
intro.
your business sorted out?
Yeah, I got my business sorted out, and that's why Watto's there. So
he's got
serves him right.
So you're saying it's your fault that he was so poor that he had to sell Anakin's mother, and then that's why she got kidnapped?
Well, okay, I wouldn't go that far. I didn't tell him to sell her.
And we know Eric is jacked here too because we're back at Tatooine, dude. Freaking. But actually, I like this part of this movie when he goes back to try to find his mother. And Watto here, he's got his beard, he's got his freaking flies out there. I like it. It's cool.
I think that I really like seeing, and that's what I love about horror movies, is seeing a character going back to a place that was traumatic for them, which is like why I'm really excited about the newest Scream movie, because I feel like Sydney got a little bit of that in the 3rd chapter when they rebuilt the set, but that's not the same. So like my entire life, Scream was like the coolest, like eeriest thing that ever happened. And like I imagine how traumatizing that would be as a 17-year-old girl. So like if we get Nev Campbell back at that, like at that house, at the location, and she's like, fuck, how did I let myself end up here again? Like I love when characters go back to like a traumatic place. So him being on Tatooine is like, it's just painful in a good way.
Right.
And it's cool for us too, because we get to see where Luke grew up at here in a minute when he goes to see the Shmi and Uncle Owen.
Yes.
I thought that was cool. I like this scene too, where they go through the asteroids. Kind of another callback to Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm. This is the I got these for Christmas one year whenever I was younger.
Oh, awesome.
I remember when those came out, man. They were freaking awesome.
I'm going to catch up on the chat real quick. Erica, I'm sorry, but some of the romance dialogue is just painful. I get what you're saying, Chase, and don't get me wrong, I'm a total romantic, but it just felt out of place here to an extent. I think she's talking about like the dark room one right before they left for Tatooine.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with their relationship. It's just it could like with the dialogue being sharpened up and just including certain scenes, you could have easily developed it into a way better like relationship.
Yeah. Right here, these bombs, man, are badass from the Feds.
Oh yeah, they are.
And we see him come back in the in Mandalorian when Boba gets the Slave One back.
Yeah.
The sound effects that come out from these things, man, where there's a little bit of a delay and then it's cool. But anyway, sorry, back to your question there. I think, yeah, the dialogue. I think again, I said earlier, if the dialogue was sharpened up a little bit, I think their story could have been way better. Not that I hate their story now, but it could have really enhanced it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. J-Man, you're getting a little ahead of yourself there. Like, I do like when Anakin butchers the Sand People. Oh, we're going to get our thoughts into that one because that was, to me, one of the most important things out of the whole movie.
I agree. It's awesome, man.
So we will get to that.
I love the rapid firing at Obi-Wan. Like
I do too.
Yeah.
Look how fast that is.
See, this is where CGI works.
It's not horrible. I mean, remember?
I think it looks better in some places because they had to pick and choose. They were like, okay, what sets are most important that we really make this look good? And then other things are like, yeah, we'll just like skimp on the clones a little.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what drives me nuts about the clones, man, is that they CGI'd like all of them instead of at least putting the ones you have on screen dressing somebody out.
Even if you just had like 10 people in that outfit and then just like
Yeah.
cut
And the
and
rest
paste
of-
it and like it just like you can grab and like that's how you can do CGI is like
Exactly.
copy the real thing and just paste it everywhere. Like
Yep. Like kind of like they did with the original trilogy when they went back and added a bunch of extra stormtroopers.
Let's see here. Nick Cooling. I recorded a video on Revenge of the Sith about a month ago, but I just finished editing it. A 35 minutes commentary with my buddy. Not sure how it turned out yet. I bet it's going to turn out fantastic, and I can't wait till we get into Revenge of the Sith.
It's gonna be epic
and sad.
Let's see here. Oh, look. Uh-oh. Dun 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 dun. Ice Fudgy in the house. What's going on, man? Star Wars, what exactly is that about? How do stars fight? That is a very good question. Because what are they? They're big bulbs of gas that just burn billions and billions of miles away.
No, they shoot their laser beams at each other. It's not, yeah, that's exactly what they do the whole time. Yeah, I need to get freaking picked up. Here, hold on.
Love these like turquoise hues and like lights on the
ships. Yeah, and then Chase, Erica is loving your room.
Thank you.
Yeah, I say your room's awesome. Like that, like all the Star Wars you have, and I love. I'm always jealous when I watch your reviews about your Scream VHSs, especially with Scream 4.
Yes, look, okay.
Very
I actually
jealous.
Just got a ghost face pop for Valentine's Day.
Oh, I got one in my movie room right now.
That's awesome.
We paid for one of the like original ones, and it was like $100 of something, and then it came up and it was a knockoff, and we're like, you literally false advertised, and so they refunded us for the full thing. So I pretty much got it for free.
Oh, awesome! See, lucky because I found one for $35. That's the cheapest I found it.
Matt Fauci says, "Brad, I need some country lyrics, brother."
He's talking about that.
Let me get my flannel back out. I got a cowboy hat right over there, and we'll.
Yeah, Brad, look at that. Look at that VHS of Scream 4.
VHS of Scream 4? I didn't even know that. I thought that came out.
It came as a blank tape, but I had to take my laptop and hook it up to this certain thing, and I had to buy this other thing from Amazon and connect it to a VCR player and then hit record. So I had to record it onto myself, but like
okay. That's super. Did you make the artwork for that too and everything?
No, that's a nostalgia. There's a nostalgia store where you buy like that. You can buy the Rob Zombie Halloween movies for VHS with an orange tape.
Oh, that's cool.
I just needed it to complete because I had the other ones. Like,
no, that's badass, man. That's awesome. Hell yeah.
Oh, J-Man, saying, "Hey Chase, digging the Alien reviews."
Oh, thank you so much. Alien is one of my first franchises. Like literally, Scream, Alien, and Star Wars were like my biggest things growing up. So thank you. I really love them. That makes me feel good.
Here's where we get to see Luke's foster parents.
This is cool, man. This is cool. This brought back some. Yeah, it's red this time. This is before.
Where's the blue milk?
But so Anakin's sitting here right where Luke sits many years down the road, and it's just it's neat.
I love that too. That to think about that, like they have no idea, but like their children are going to sit there, and also it makes me feel like Luke went his whole life thinking about I never knew my mom and dad, and it's like how would he? I wonder how would he react if he knew like that his mom sat there in that very kitchen. Like
exactly. It's super cool, man, and they did a great job with this stuff, man. I remember I was into this, and then this all leading up to the Tusken Raider Slay Sesh. It's good times.
Man, this time makes me sad.
I'm gonna go to the power converter store.
The power converter store. Let's see here. Oh, Erica for Brad. I just barely saw Grogu sing behind Brad. Yeah, Brad's Grogu is a little bastard. He likes to hide around the house sometimes.
I want to see it. Oh my gosh.
It's Grogu right there for you.
I'm gonna steal it.
If I have my ring light on though, he's not as appealing because he turns into a demon.
look like the freaking alien. They look like the aliens from that Camino planet.
They literally, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
That's
friend.
so
We're about to get to
cute.
the 6th score.
Yeah.
One of my favorites too, other than Duel of the Fates.
He says, "I won't be long." Padme changes more than freaking. You can
Here
imagine.
it is. Here's that awesome score.
I think it was in her contract to be able to get an outfit change per scene. I'm
Yeah.
kidding, but like that's
I think it's
funny.
true. I think I don't know.
Oh, y'all saw the two suns in the background right there?
Oh yeah,
See, I didn't notice that until now.
the Jawas.
What's Chase? Do you know what the Jawa's favorite mixed drink is? They love a martini.
Oh my gosh.
I love that. I'm gonna steal it.
It's all yours.
Oh, Obi-Wan can't just keep his fucking nose to himself.
See, right here, the CGI is not so bad because the lighting. It's not so. It doesn't make it so obvious that he's walking through fake stuff.
Yes, it does, Erica. The score digs through the feels right here. Absolutely. I'm telling you, if you don't have a good score for a movie, the movie will not succeed as much as it will. And Halloween is the best example of them all because, Brad, you want to tell why Halloween got even better?
Because of that score.
Well, it's like you told me that originally they had like no music to it and it was bad.
Oh yeah,
and then when they added all that like score and sound effects, made it an instant classic.
Yeah, totally. I like this part here when they get on Geonosis.
Mm-hmm.
And Christopher Lee, man, I wish he was in this movie a little bit more.
I like the Viceroys.
Yeah, those guys are cool too.
They're creepy.
Yeah, I'm actually just okay on with Count Dooku though. Like I would easily replace Count Dooku if we can get back Darth Maul.
Well, yeah, I would take Darth Maul more too, but the fact Count Dooku's not bad, and I think he would have been better served if he would have been more woven into this movie's narrative, because he, I mean, obviously Christopher Lee is fantastic, man, and just to know, we only get like a throwaway line that he used to be Qui-Gon's master in this movie. Like, if you would have fleshed that out a little bit, and kind of at this point when Obi-Wan meets him, the people watching the movie they have no idea that this is Qui-Gon's old master.
Have like a little flashback.
Yeah, nobody has any clue. This is maybe if you would have introduced him in the first movie or something, or if Qui-Gon would have at least talked about him or something to kind of give you some kind of when I think that would have made him a lot better. Because it's interesting that Qui-Gon had a master that turned to the dark side.
And Erica is right. Nearly every movie could use more Christopher Lee.
Totally, man. Here we are.
Has more scenes that were cut out of the movie where like Anakin and Padme are on trial after they've been caught, and she's like negotiating with Dooku, and it doesn't go well. That got cut.
Of course, it's not going to go well. Padme is not a very good negotiator.
That is not true. She's the only one that speaks with any rational words. They were gonna die no matter what.
Man. Shit's about to go down.
Even the Tusken Raiders were made to be somewhat of a good guy in Mandalorian. It's kind of cool.
Oh man, that shot right there.
Yeah.
How dark could these movies have been, though?
Yeah, if they were allowed to go that way.
Well, I mean, they're heavily implying that they're impregnating her, and that's how they create more Tusken Raiders. Because that's what I also think is so like heartbreaking about this scene is that she's like just suffering, and she sees her son's face, and he's so just beyond everything that she imagined, and that she's like, you are alive, and you're beautiful, and then she like that was just enough for her. She's like, ugh.
Yeah, and then what Anakin does next, you bet like his mom's going, "That is not how I raised you." But yeah, in the first movie we see fear, and in this movie we see anger and hate, and in the third one we see suffering.
Yes.
Suffering.
Okay. That one needed a little bit more Yoda work.
Well,
Suffering.
we know this
Yeah.
guy's not going to turn to the dark side, though. He's going to be in good shape.
Ooh.
How much will people lose their minds when Grogu speaks for the first? Oh, and then there's the epic death.
Oh, that's awful.
Sorry,
And
I
it's
brought you out.
like-
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, it's once you see this look, it's about to go down.
Yeah, this is fantastic, though. This is one of those parts of the. This
The
is when
strings
you see
swell up.
shades. When you see shades of how good this story could be, this is
Oh,
one of those.
if then that score hits. Oh.
Mhm.
Hmm. Oh, I'm getting chill bumps right now.
Me too.
I would have liked to see that whole thing transpire, though. You know, like freaking
Mhm.
Rogue One, Darth Vader. I don't. Maybe they didn't have the budget,
And
but
then there's Qui-Gon's voice right there.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brad. Like, I wish we could have dragged out that scene more of him just going ballistic.
Everybody, the women, the
Would
children.
have showed how his breaking points were like, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, totally.
Yoda has a lot of hair.
Yeah, he's old. J-Man, your score is the heartbeat of the movie. Could not agree more, especially for that scene right there with Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
And then Erica, Brett, I agree about Padme. Hey, now if she was better, you think she'd make a bigger speed bump in Annie's transition into Vader? Let me think about that. Yeah, like I would think so.
I don't understand the question.
Yeah.
If she was a better negotiator, then she would have slowed down Anakin's conversion to Darth Vader a little bit more.
It's not a woman's job to stop a man's destructive behavior.
Oh,
Ooh.
I like it.
Interesting, but yeah, I would say
She was fighting for the
it could be a
people.
speed bump for sure. Like she can talk sense into Anakin more and just like get him like not to feel so much hate.
No, that's the
yeah, I
point
can
of
see
being
that.
irrational. Is like, you know, I kind of have abusive parents, and you can't reason with them. They're just irrational, and they're terrible. And I have this book that's all about her. There's no pictures in it. And she spends many, many years of her life saving people, rescuing people from slavery, sex trafficking, keeping people from getting killed. She's an amazing negotiator.
Okay, see, like we're not much book readers. Like we're hoping to be in the future, so that's good information to know.
I also have this is from like 19 something. This is like my dad's original book.
Oh, awesome.
And the original Return of the Jedi book.
Dude.
I think what we're gonna have to do is you'll have to come on at another point to just talk about hit us with some of this knowledge from the extended universe, and
yeah, because we're continuously learning.
I feel sometimes I feel bad when I do that because first of all I feel weird and nerdy, and then second of all I'm like, no, your opinion is wrong because you don't know. But I don't want it to come off like that.
It's like you don't even know. There's the blue milk.
there's the blue milk right there. Yep.
Oh, do you think she milked herself for that, or like, where do you get?
Well, unfortunately, the Last Jedi taught us how it's done.
That's how you get green milk.
Yeah, that's different. There's different nutrition facts in both of them.
Okay, so I was actually
You
talking
all
with.
know that.
Go ahead, sorry.
That's just how y'all just talking too detailed about that. It's freaking me out.
I like that this is the same workshop that Luke gets to work in.
Oh yeah,
It is.
this is before he put the new power converters in. But nonetheless, it was a good. Like he was in there cleaning off R2.
Mm-hmm. Something else, like a concept I like about the prequels, is that it's a very high tech world, and then the point of the war is that Darth Sidious literally wanted to use they wanted, wear everybody down emotionally and mentally and in strength and in numbers and in money so that nobody had anything, and they literally spent every mining place and every piece of money they had, and he just spent all the resources so that when he took over, you just had to deal with the Empire because everything was fucking broken. And so I kind of like how, there's these movies, and then 20 years later when we get to part 4, it's like that's why it looks so like a lived-in futuristic. So even though it was made in the 80s, and that's maybe why it looks different, I kind of like to believe that it's this lived-in future that's been broken because the Empire doesn't care. So
Exactly.
I love that.
They're leaving it all to freaking. Yeah.
And question real quick, in this scene right here where Anakin's just totally having a mental breakdown and just explain everything that he did. You think this would be your major red flag of, hey, mate, you better get the hell out of there.
Yes, that's a good joke. But when you see someone that you care about just lose their mother and how saddened they are, there's probably conflicting things going on in her brain about, yes, that's scary, but it's I can see that someone is hurting, and then that also plays into the manipulation factor. That's intimidating. I don't want to upset this person. They're clearly off their fucking rocker right now. And I think she just has a soothing presence. I think that's what I said at the beginning, is that he just has this infatuation, and she's kind of caught in between a rock and a hard place where it's I have honest love for you, but you literally don't respect me unless you need me to be there to yell at me.
Yeah, again, Padme's almost in a way trying to, I wouldn't say she was trying to be a father figure, but she's trying to be the replacement of what she's trying to be what Anakin needs in his life.
Unconditional love, because he never had it.
Yes. And Qui-Gon could have gotten to that to Anakin too, but Padme has to be the one to do it.
But there is a parody of do you guys watch the YouTube channel How It Should Have Ended?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen plenty.
He screams like that, and he's like, I hate them, and she just backs out of the thing and runs away, and she's flying away in her ship, and she's like, that guy's clearly a psychopath who I'm never going to talk to again.
Well, I figured that's what she should have done, but no, again, you brought up a great point. She obviously has feelings for Anakin, so
I think they're in an abusive relationship. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, totally. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's that lag, I promise.
Oh no, you're good. George Lucas has only directed 6 feature films in his career, the prequels being half of them.
Exactly, dude. That's okay. The best Star Wars movie of all time was, for a lot of people, for most people, would be Empire Strikes Back. I'm not saying objectively it's the best. That's up for debate. But that's most people's favorites, and that's one he delegated the responsibilities of writing and directing to, obviously. And it shows, man. New Hope was fantastic too. He did all that himself. But when you get to this point, I just feel like he needed some people to help him out with this. His story is there. His story is fantastic, but the way he presented it is it could be improved upon greatly.
Especially back in the 70s and 80s, it's when he just did the first one and then had to delegate on the second, and it was so good, and people were like, we want this to be good,
Yes, exactly.
Star Wars became a thing for 15 years. So whenever it came around time to do this, it was oh, that's George Lucas. He invented Star Wars. We're not going to tell him what to do with Star Wars.
Exactly.
And then no one did.
Exactly. And that's where it's kind of like when freaking Rob Zombie gets his reins on Halloween. It's,
Not the biggest Halloween fan of Rob Zombie.
I grew up in a very trashy trailer park, and if I wanted to do things like that, I would visit my childhood traumas. So I like the parts of the first one that are an exact remake.
Yes,
Then
Right.
That's all.
Then I
Yeah,
just watched
That's
the
how a
original.
lot of people are.
I like the second one because
I
it's
do
not
as well.
gross.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
I like the second one.
It does something completely different. Like, yeah. I don't know. I just don't need to hear like,
Like, bitch, I'll crawl over there and skull.
yeah.
Yeah.
But my point of being is Rob Zombie came in and he was given creative control. Nobody wrote his story. You know, he directed, he wrote it, everything. And it's like, okay, maybe you should have just directed it. Maybe you should let somebody else write it. You know, something like that.
Because no one asked for Michael Myers to talk for half of the film or at the end of the second one.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't talk about that. No, damn it, Brad.
Look at this little ship right here, dude.
I do this thing where I choose what's my reality, and I do this with Alien 3 a lot. So like I'll choose some scenes from the theatrical and some scenes from like the special edition and just like make and like that's my that's my story. Like that's how I choose that the events go. With the mix of.
That's a good theory. You could do that with a lot of things. I think that's a good thing. You could a good idea.
Yeah. Let's see. J-Man.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. J-Man. I think they show moments of Padme where she has had a history of dealing with all sorts of conflicts and negotiations, kind of like what you were saying, Chase, like with the book.
Yeah, and they did that in the first one too, where they were like, "Well, can you defer and wait?" And she's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I was almost murdered, and my people are being murdered. I'm not going to defer. I want help now."
Mm-hmm. And Erica, I will get to your comment just in a minute because this is never an interesting scene between Count Dooku and Obi-Wan.
Yes, I love him being held up like that in that Ray.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's different. I love different.
This is an epic meeting though between Obi-Wan and his trainer, and we don't even know about it until he
say that 5 times.
And he throws out just a throwaway line that he was Qui-Gon's master later at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, like he's trying to trick Obi-Wan right now, like to secretly join the dark side. But Obi-Wan, as you see here, is not falling for it.
Yeah, you're right about the throwaway line. They're just like, seems Qui-Gon would have whatever. Like, I feel like what they were trying to do was like to create like a suspense, like oh shit moment, like
a mystery.
What did he just say? But like,
Yeah.
like you said, he just dropped it too casually. Like,
yeah, and just right there, he just saying like, I wish Obi-Wan was here right now. Like, I would need his help.
I would love to have seen I would have loved to have seen him introduced in Phantom Menace, at least mentioned in the Phantom Menace, and then this meeting between the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It would have made a lot more sense.
Because I really don't mind Qui-Gon, or it's not Qui-Gon, Count Dooku. I think he's a good villain, but yeah, I don't know.
I love him in part 3. I'd say the first hour and 5 or hour and 10 minutes of the third one, I'll often just put that on and just watch it. And then just like right before everything turns to shit, I'll just turn it up.
So you like the first half more than the second half?
I like seeing the events that lead up to one of the greatest stories in history is the original Star Wars stories. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But just sitting back and watching and knowing that it's like that he spends the whole movie being like, I'm going to keep this from happening. And it's like, don't you realize that the only reason it happened is because you're trying, like, had you just sat back and done nothing, it would have been fine.
Yeah, I see the logic issues there with that.
And it's like, it's like, it just, because I just hate how he has to lose everything, you know, Ahsoka, his mother, you know, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, you know, Padme. He thinks his baby died, like, and now he's a slave to it's so just like trapping, and it's like it makes Darth Vader so great, and it makes him like a great villain, but the part of me that's like so empathetic to him is like,
no. Let's see here. Erica, okay, but here, this is where I was starting to get all the central criticism about this film's story. This whole thing about her hearing this news and it doesn't really faze her at all. Which it kind of goes back to what we were talking earlier. She's just like calm, cool, and collected, especially with her being at 14. She's like mature. So I feel like that's why she was kind of like calm, like, and just didn't like, overreact, like, oh, how could you do that and all that. And like you were saying, Chase, like she probably has no like recollection of what it was like to lose the mother at a situation like that.
And like imagine your significant other comes to you and says, my mother, who had been kidnapped and raped for years, I found her and she died in my arms and I slaughtered all of her rapists. Like that, you're like, of course that's terrifying, but you're not like, it's not to the point where he's just killing innocent children because he's been manipulated yet. Like there was a reason. Like he was broke. Like it's almost like it's almost justifiable. It's not, but it's like they present it to you in a way that you're like, I see how if a person who isn't strong enough goes through something like this, they will fall to corruption.
Exactly. But then we had Jar Jar pop up there a minute. What do you guys think about that?
That's why I was answering questions, because I just can't stand Jar Jar.
Yeah. But yeah, it's about to get good, man. This is when they go to save Qui-Gon Jinn. Why do I keep saying Qui-Gon?
He's dead, man. Get over it.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. And
anyway.
And it's about to get good, man. We're about to get.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to get for these chats before that third act gets really crazy. Let's see here. Jason Nycom, I think the film should have stayed dark after Anakin killed all the Sand people. I actually agree with that. Like, especially for Anakin, I would like to see him be darker because, again, he's in a dark place, in a rough patch. And just the kids kind of like see that be more developed, could have had a better payoff in the third one.
I agree because, there's a lot of this film that's because there's like, the whole factory scene we're about to see and then like the standoff between the Jedi and the droids. Like it's there's so much action in the way that it's like, oh, this is cool and this is joyful, but it's like what Bert said.
Chase calls me Bert.
I got distracted by laughing. What were you saying? Or what did you say that I was going to piggyback off of? Oh, no, that it should have stayed dark. Like, they're walking into a life or death situation. Like, and we're caught up in the ooh-ah of the factory,
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with that. We were talking earlier, Jason, that the how dark this prequel story could have been, this whole tragedy, the rise and fall of Anakin, if they just went a different, with a different tone with it, and how epic it could have been. I think it could have been a better story than the original trilogy. I don't know if they would have been better movies or not, but the story itself could have definitely been more interesting. But yeah, you're totally right, Chase. Right here, this whole the factory scene kind of takes the music's great that plays. It plays the love theme. But like, man, like you see R2-D2 flying and
C-3PO nonsense. Like that's all just for the kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's fun. Like you have to really like pay attention to the fact that it's like, oh yeah, they wandered into this, and then now she falls, and he's like, well shit, now I have to go. The person I love the most is in giant danger, and I have to go save her now, and then he can't get to her through this whole thing.
Exactly. It kind of plays out like a video game almost. Like I don't know, just
like a B-level mission.
Yeah.
Like something you'd watch as like a little prologue for like 30 seconds, and they're like, "Now you try the level."
Exactly.
Erica, I could love someone to no end. I know love is blinding. They literally said that here. But the minute he tells me he killed children, guy's on his own. That's what I've been saying. And Erica, LOL, I'm rambling too much in the chat today. Sorry. Do not be sorry. This is freaking awesome. This is what Star Wars Saturdays are all about. It's just all things Star Wars. Nothing to be ashamed of here. We embrace it.
You got it. You keep chatting away. You're not going to bother us by any means.
No, absolutely not.
I should grab a soda because I forgot to do that when I went.
Oh, right now is the perfect time to do that.
Yeah, look at C-3PO flip. Yeah, go. Yeah,
See, I don't care about this.
What is this?
You could use
This
this
is
to develop
the,
story.
This is what they did by trying to be like, oh, let's keep it lighthearted and kind of fun, like how the originals felt fun. Except this isn't the fun we feel with like Luke and Han and Leia's just like dynamic. This is just like it like you said, it's for like children to be like, oh wow.
God, imagine if Jar Jar was in this situation.
I don't want to.
Good call.
And then she goes into the little molten thing here, man. It looks like one of those things you mix up guacamole in, and then she gets. It does, dude. And then
no, dude, I'm agreeing with you, especially when that like liquid comes down. Kind of looks like chili con queso.
Oh, dude, you're making me hungry. I haven't ate yet.
Dude, I'm ready for some Mexican.
I ate lunch at like 10 o'clock today.
You mean brunch?
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was my lunch, but it was at brunch time.
Or let's see here. My never-ending love for Obi-Wan coming out, wanting to take Dooku down right then and there for even holding him against his will. Yeah, absolutely. Like we're always cheering for Obi-Wan.
Absolutely, we are. Let me get.
Hard not to.
Yeah, you take that one. I'm gonna.
Yeah. In New Hope's, Leia's chest was taped down, and by Jedi, she is in a metal bikini. Her mom in this goes from big coverings to skin tight and ripped by the end.
Yeah, that's totally true on both cases. Jason Mike said, I feel Phantom Menace was not needed. This movie should have been the first film. Just throw you in the story like A New Hope did. I think you're right. Phantom Menace.
That's what me and Brad always talk about.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Phantom Menace is kind of in the middle. Like it's not necessary, but the fact that you went back there, you started a lot of things that you didn't really finish. Like you go back and you start developing all this stuff with Qui-Gon and how important he is, but then you kill him off and like he's never mentioned again until the very ending of episode 3. So it's like, if you're going to go that far back, flesh it out instead of it just being like this one-off thing. And then like after you watch Phantom Menace, it has no bearing on what happens here. It just kind of sets everything up. It's kind of a weird feeling I have with it because you're totally right. But I also like some of the elements that it presents.
Yeah, and that like we always talk about, like like the battle between the Gungans and the battle droids on episode 1. You could easily switch the Gungans with the clone troopers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you could easily like play that story out like 100 times better. Than the second one, you could just like establish the story like the Clone Wars actually starting. And we just see the development of Anakin and Padme's love from the first one. Let's see again, like there's so many directions you can go.
Yeah, and the when old Ben's sitting there talking to Luke, and he's like, "Oh, he was a great friend, and a great warrior, and a great pilot," or whatever he says. We only see freaking Anakin be a great pilot for like 10 minutes in the Revenge of the Sith. I would have liked to see.
Yeah, exactly. You could have established that.
Aside from Clone Wars, I'm sure he does all kinds of flying and shit there, but I don't know.
Well, also in like the Phantom Menace, he did the pod racing, and he was like up in the space battle, and
he did pod racing in the space battle apparently because he went.
Like,
now this is pod racing, and he
tried spinning. That was a cool trick.
Yeah,
he tried spinning. It was a pretty good trick.
Oh, I love them knowing that.
Oh yeah, so this is your the big thing with Padme.
And the score here, man, too, when the theme is so good. We'll hear in a second, of course. This is one of their better scenes in the movie together.
Yeah, like to me, this is my favorite scene between the two. Even though a little bit towards the end is a little cringy writing wise, but I forgive it for this particular scene, like for the payoff.
I need to go back to Jason Nike's other comment. Erica said she agrees with it, and we talked about it earlier. And that's one thing the prequels did really well, show how big the Star Wars world is, how many planets you see, and all the details of everything going on. That's exactly, Chase was talking about that earlier, about how this really expanded upon that.
Oh, the kiss.
The love is complete.
My heart started pounding like whenever I was. It's like it's like how like whenever you're like watching a romance movie or something, and like they like the tension just between them. I was just so excited that it happened.
And then the score.
Yeah. And like they think they're gonna die. Like it's sad. Like, and I love that they're fighting to the very last second. And I love that that's how strong she is. And I think that that's why he likes her, is because she's badass. Because she can hold her own. Like,
and as you'll see in this scene here too, she can.
That's what I loved about it. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with her, but it's the way she looks in that outfit, and it's like you can be like sexy but like strong, and like she's like smart and cunning and like gets herself out of danger. Like,
right.
I don't know.
I remember my thought from earlier. Like, you know how you always say like or Brad said, I can't remember which one of you. Like Padme always changes outfits.
Yeah.
I just thought of a great drinking game for the next time I watch this movie.
Hell yeah.
Buddy.
Take a shot every time she changes outfits.
Outfits, hair, or I
don't want to go to the hospital, Chase. But that would be a good drinking game for every time she changes her outfit.
I like this sequence, man.
Me too.
Yeah, just see them fight without lightsabers. It's very interesting.
And it's just an interesting concept about like the whole like being put to death thing, and like they're gonna get eaten by monsters, and that it's like this big show, like how like the Romans used to do. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it does look like the Gladiator setup.
And Obi-Wan and Anakin are like, "Yeah, dude, we're done. They've given up." Actually, he said, "Follow my lead, exactly," or whatever. And then Padme's over there actually getting him out of this shit.
Literally, she was like, "What are we gonna do about her?" And he's all worried, and it's like, "Bitch got her own."
Yeah, Erica, great point. Yeah, this was a much better scene for these two right before riding out into what they believe is their end. Yeah, I was like, just spill their guts just because they had no idea whether they were going to survive.
Ewan just dropped the most freaking James Bond line ever, dude.
What did I say?
Anakin, I said Ewan McGregor. Anakin's like, "What about Padme, dude?" He's like, I got you. I'm going to do this Force stuff. We're going to get out of this. What about Padme? And she's climbing up the pole, and he's like, "Well, she seems to be on top of things."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is the most James Bond thing.
And it's like they have Jedi powers, so like she's just a human, you know, fighting this hard and doing this well.
Getting her shirt ripped off.
Well, that's because.
Why does Obi-Wan always get stuck with the hard creatures to fight?
Because Obi-Wan, they spent the whole prequel trilogy kicking Obi-Wan's ass for some reason.
Yeah, he's a beat. Well, why do you think he looks so old and rugged in the desert? He went through
exactly.
that. He had to age fast.
I can't wait. Hopefully, like the Kenobi show fixes like Obi-Wan to make him more of a badass than they portrayed him in the prequels.
He gets knocked out a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Remember he gets knocked out by that freaking balcony in the third one?
Oh my gosh, let's not talk about that scene, please. That was bad. You think like he could like just do like a regular Force choke if Anakin stops it in time, and that's when Obi-Wan passes out.
Oh my gosh. I remember like everyone being obsessed with this movie at this time, and like this was everyone's favorite part, and like just going to like a video rental store and just like seeing displays of this just being like everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And I used to own like all the toys too of the monsters and Obi-Wan Anakin from this scene.
Anakin just using his little abilities there. He learned earlier from the space cow how to ride.
That's what it was for.
Everything makes so much sense now.
The more you know.
Video tasties. Have you seen the 50s cliffhangers, Flash Gordon and Rocket Man that Lucas drew inspiration from? I have not, but I am not surprised with those two movies like being an influence in Star Wars. Just like for some of the photos I've seen of them.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I did know that Lucas drew the inspiration from Flash Gordon.
And certain moments when I feel like Cinema Sins would chime in. Anakin, I've got a bad feeling about this. Ding.
Ding.
Did they actually have they said that quote yet?
I think so,
It's
yeah.
usually in every Star Wars.
I think Anakin did.
In the first one, it's Obi-Wan, and then I think it's Anakin in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who says it in the third one.
There's those droidicas.
It's about to get bad. Yeah, right here. Did you see him? Mm-hmm. Old Mace.
I love the battle droids.
The droidicars are my favorite.
I like the droids quite a bit.
Oh, there's my lightsaber.
Yes,
there's Chase's lightsaber.
Funny and hilarious and like interesting looking, and it's like the concept of that. It's like, of course, there would be giant machines with guns, when no one had an army. Like
exactly.
This is goosebumps every.
Yeah, this is cool.
Oh yeah, and what's funny about this too is Samuel L. Jackson wanted to do a purple lightsaber. I think they said, "Well, we want to keep it blue and green." No, I'm going to do purple.
No, motherfucker.
Like, purple, yeah, they're like, okay, fine, do purple. Even though I'm glad he stuck with his guns because purple's a unique color we've never seen before.
Love it also represents his character. He's kind of
like his Jedi type.
Exactly.
He's knowledge.
Exactly.
I think I saw a clip about that though, and he said, I said to George, like, can I have a purple one? And he's like, we don't have purple. And he's like, yeah, I know. So can I have one?
You will now.
And he said, I'll think about it. And so when they went in and did like the editing, because you gotta put the lightsabers in afterwards. Yeah. He like called Samuel Jackson. He's like, I want to show you something. And it was this final battle with he was like, we were watching it and we weren't gonna do it. And I thought about you asking about that. And you weren't sticking out enough. So here we go. We're going to watch this and I'm going to show you, and you have a purple lightsaber in this. And I'm not saying it's going to be in the theatrical release, but I'm testing it out. And then apparently it just got left.
That's awesome, man. I'm so glad they did it too.
Yeah, because it just makes this character feel more important for him to stand out.
And it's like, I feel like that was the first time that they kind of like really got into the fact that a lightsaber's color is dependent on your knowledge and the type of crystal you manifested. Like
exactly.
Like it's very crucial stuff. Like in developing like not only your lightsaber, but just knowing like what kind of Jedi you're supposed to be.
And also, Samuel Jackson's just badass, and I think that purple complements his skin tone really well.
Yeah, it honestly, it's very visually pleasing, aesthetically speaking.
Okay, so I do love that part where like C-3PO's head is switched to something, and he's like, "Die, Jedi, die!" And he's like, oh, "What did I say?"
Yeah. And I wish Jango would have like fought in this too and took out a couple more Jedis versus just that one.
It would have been cool to see him a little bit more involved.
Like show us that he's a threat. Like
exactly, because he's a freaking Mandalorian for crying out loud. They can kill Jedi. Instead of just getting run over here and then just not getting ahead in life.
So there's like a whole part of the Clone Wars that is like the entire like siege of Mandalore and like the Mandalorian's origins and like where the Darksaber comes from. And like a lot of the things in the Mandalorian is pretty much a sequel to the Clone Wars show.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Bam!
Oh, do you see the shadow of his head go flying out?
Oh, I need to replay that. I did not notice that.
If you go back and watch it, the helmet goes one way and you see the shadow of the helmet and then the head flies.
Oh, okay. I'm going to rewatch it after we're done here because that just sounds awesome.
Because I
am realistic.
Like, why would he pick up his father's head and like hold it close to him? But it's like
I've always thought about
the helmet.
Yeah.
Or kind of like in Scream or in Scary Movie 3, picking up the head at the beginning intro, like,
yeah,
are you okay?
I like the part where the dude, the Jedi dude, freaking throws C-3PO back, and he's like, "You're good, bro.
Yep.
We'll catch you later."
I love how she does this reference right now, and she's like, "I call it aggressive negotiations."
See, now this is
Yeah.
how you negotiate. You just freaking fight.
Yeah, she was so good.
See, I love confrontation in the way that it's like I love letting people know what's going on and trying to like resolve anything. But there are some times, and there are some people that just need hit. Like,
Yeah.
Video Tasty says, "Do you think Lucas watches these now and sees all the stuff a special edition will fix?"
Don't get me started on the special editions, dude.
Yeah, like Jabba the Hutt being put in the New Hope. Yeah, like that was not needed.
you know, he was a human in that original scene.
He was, yeah.
Yeah,
He looked like freaking.
Sorry, like if I could point out this, this is one of my absolute favorite like battle tactics, like for wars and all this. It's the circle, which you get the enemy right in here, and then you just close in, and that's what the droids are doing here, and you see it in this scene. Like one of my absolute favorite battle tactics.
That's because it's fucking eerie, dude. Like what? What is
that?
It's a good shot too.
Damn,
I hate these robots.
She's the only one on that battlefield without a lightsaber. Yeah. How has she not been shot?
Seriously,
the Jedi. Yeah, Obi-Wan's like, "Are you okay there? Get up."
Would you like to make a confession?
The extras.
I feel like someone should give Padme a lightsaber.
She wouldn't know what to do with it.
She can handle that gun. You just gotta swing it around.
This is cool, dude. When freaking Yoda's about to show up, but
yeah, when the clones appear, yeah. This got me excited for this third act. And you would think they hear them coming too, like just the most silence approach.
Yeah, I just wish like they would have put the people that's in that ship in actual stormtrooper outfits instead of making them all CGI.
Right. See, that would have been good.
Gosh, this is so intense. I love just like mass carnage and like battle scenes.
I do as well.
When they get to that, like the outside of this Coliseum, that's like where it really like visually looks amazing.
Yes.
It just makes it look like I'm about to start a Battlefront match, man, with all the CGI on the guys. But
from the PS2,
no, I'll give it Xbox graphics at least. But I feel like this is the loading screen for the freaking match. But at the same time, this sequence is awesome. It's just the CGI that takes me out of it sometimes.
Don't do that to yourself. Let yourself buy into it.
I need to. It'd probably be almost easier in the cartoons, like in the shows, because you expect it. But
you know what? Honestly, it really is.
Yeah.
Because then you're not thinking about that, and then whenever they do have certain shots that look really good, you're like, "Whoa, it looks good."
Erica, Pascal said he actually couldn't see as well as she thinks through the helmet, and brief will fog it up real quick. This is a new updated helmet. I can't imagine how uncomfortable Django and Bubba's helmet was.
Seriously?
So I never thought about that. That's a very good point. Like with just the difference of costumes and all that.
Oh, I love all of this blowing up and all of the different colored lasers and like.
Mm-hmm.
I love that it shows like what the clones have to go through whenever like the wind starts blowing because of all the explosions, and it's like you can't see anything. There's danger everywhere. There's just bullets flying. Like this is just people just blindly shooting in the dark at each other. And like, I also love the reference to the Death Star here.
I was about to say that. I do too.
Yeah, that'll be coming up here shortly. J-Man, I got the OG Empire on VHS. Oh, you lucky.
Oh, so you got the one before Ian McDermott came in as the Empire.
Oh, with the original like creepy face projection guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we didn't even see the face of the Emperor. He also says Rogue One did it best, dirty and greedy.
Yes, it did, my
yes,
friend.
we got plenty of thoughts on Rogue One for when we get to that. As you all know, the J-Man will be our special guest for the Rogue One watch party.
It did,
which that will be right after the Solo watch party.
It did so well at that, and it did it all dirty and gritty, but all on such a beautiful freaking backscape, like planet and background of Scarif.
That's where they used real stormtroopers.
Yes, and it looks so good.
And it's just like it told like the best story too that it hasn't explored yet of what life was like during the Empire before the New Hope, and why everybody was afraid to fight.
Yeah,
exactly.
And again, we're gonna have plenty of thoughts on Rogue One because to me that's like a very high. I hope for it to move way up there in my Star Wars ranking because right now it's like middle tier.
I love the robot in that movie. So funny. And
yes, what is it? K2 K2SO.
Yeah,
K2SO.
Yep, he's the freaking man. He's in. If you played Star, I'll tell you what, dude. If you played the video game Fallen Order, dude, these assholes are everywhere, and they're freaking a pain in the ass to kill.
Mm. Oh, what'd you think about the Super Troopers then in The Mandalorian?
Oh, the Death Troopers.
Yeah,
those were
the Death Troopers looked bad ass.
That was literally awesome.
It was also Jon Favreau's, I think, throwback to Iron Man, when they're freaking flying around and they got freaking everywhere. All their oh gosh, careful! I know he gets scared of the Death Troopers still, but he's okay.
Oh, there's the Death Star.
Yeah, that's cool.
The designs for the ultimate weapon.
Oh, ultimate weapon it was, and Rogue One really showed his power.
That's what I love about Rogue One is. Nobody wins. I mean, they do and they don't. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's such a good. Yeah, you're totally right, and it's such a good leeway into New Hope too, man.
Mm-hmm. I love the Princess Leia cameo at the end of that.
I do too.
I thought that
was going to happen. Literally, like hyperventilated when that happened, and I went.
I did too. I remember like once they got onto that ship, and I'm like, what were they about to do here, man? And then you see the back, and yeah, that was awesome.
I literally had no idea it was going to happen until they opened up that door and I saw someone standing in a white dress, and I went, "Holy shit!"
This dude, freaking Count Dooku, was just flying through the air like Freddy Krueger did in Freddy's Dead. When he's riding on the broom, like I'm like,
oh
come
god,
on, man.
I've only seen. I'm actually doing the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise for the first time ever on my channel right now because I've never seen.
Oh
them.
Hell yeah!
And I did.
You haven't seen any of them?
Nope. And I just did 1 and 2.
What do you think? So
you're about to get into 3.
Yeah, I've never.
Oh,
seen
I
3
cannot
or
wait
4
to see
or
your
5
reaction
or
to 3.
6.
What'd you think about the first 2?
I love the first one because it's iconic and amazing, and there's so many like the hallway scene and just like seeing like the slashing was awesome. But I actually really liked the second one because of the concept that Nancy was in trouble, but Jesse was possessed in a way that was like he was at the crime scenes and like he looks like he could be caught, like, and you know, like that's a danger Nancy didn't have to deal with. And I like that he's like wet and like I don't know which I would probably still say I like the first one better, but I was surprised that people disown 2 as much as they. Personally, I don't think it's a gay movie. I honestly just think that it's a non-misogynistic movie, and people aren't used to that.
Right?
Because he's not even. He has a girlfriend. He like motorboats her and goes down on her.
Yeah, he does.
He's got that.
Yeah, that's like if that's like your not your like big sign about this movie. Like I'm not sure what it is.
And then he gets the extra tongue there at the end too, man. That it gets wild. But I like, yeah, you're totally right. And I like 2's grown on me a lot over the last few years,
And
man.
the
I'm a fan of that.
And when he
Yeah.
bursts out of Jesse and his friend is like screaming for his dad,
Amazing practical work.
love it. And then like the razors go through the door.
Mm-hmm.
I was upset whenever Padme fell out of the ship.
Yeah, it's like, what would Padme do in your situation? She'll probably go after me too, so land the damn plane.
It's interesting that Anakin is the one wanting to go back, and Obi-Wan's like, nah, dude, she's freaking dead.
Again, that's
Freaking
like
leave her ass.
back earlier. Obi-Wan follows the book.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon would have gone saved her.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Erica, Dark Troopers were awesome. I was laughing. They actually got their own dubstep theme music. Was cool. Yeah.
Yep. It was badass, dude.
I love the
Even,
similarity lightsaber fighting styles between Luke in that and then Vader in Rogue One. Like there's the similar like
so good. Yes.
holding up to the ceiling, throwing to the side, crushing something, slice like.
And she also loved the Leia cameo too. The whole end of Rogue One was nothing short of epic. Vader's hallway scene still gives me chills every time.
Mhm.
Oh, we got plenty. Again, when we get to Rogue One, we got plenty of words for that scene.
Absolutely.
And now we get to see Obi-Wan get his ass kicked.
Again.
I love the concept of Force
Again.
lightning.
I did too.
Force lightning was cool.
That was one thing, and Chase, I'm sure you already know this. There's one thing that I thought was cool. When we did our Qui-Gon breakdown a few weeks ago, it was Dooku first used his Force lightning when he was the master of Qui-Gon, when they were trying to track down a bounty hunter or whatnot, and he ended up killing her with the Force lightning, and that alarmed Qui-Gon.
Really, I never knew that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like a big turning stone in Count Dooku and Qui-Gon Jinn and their paths of the Force.
Something that always like bugged me that I was like, she literally got scratched by that thing and probably has like several inch lacerations on her back, and then just like falls into the sand and like, yeah, no, my cuts aren't like sandy or dirty or like
And you know it
infected
gets
at
everywhere.
all. Legend has it, in her grave, she still has sand in her back right now.
You think Obi-Wan, with being such a defensive fighter, he could have easily defended that, but no, Count Dooku's like,
It kills me. Like, he gets a little cut on the shoulder and he just lays there. Kylo Ren got freaking destroyed and he still fought it out.
Yeah, he got shot
Darth
with
Vader,
a bowcaster.
Yeah, and then freaking Darth Vader got a hit to the shoulder. Like, and he's just laying there just watching. Like, why do they do that to him, man?
Oh, man. I don't
Like, at least chop off an arm of him or something if you want to have him lay there and watch.
Yeah.
Or stab him.
Or force lightning him.
Yeah, just knock him out with that. But he's just laying there. He got a freaking little cut
Like,
in the arm.
He's just all right
Yeah.
there. He's just staring at the fight like,
Force
oh,
pushing.
this is cool.
I guess
And
if
this-
you want to be like, oh, maybe his lightsaber damaged his like a tendon in his leg, and so he like literally can't flex his tendon because it's singed and burned, and he can't walk. Let's just live with that, maybe.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
okay.
I'm
That was
game
a
with
tiny
that.
incision. Did you see that? That was barely there.
Sure, like
I-
Anakin just got his arm chopped off and he didn't scream or nothing. He like instantly passed out.
Yeah,
Oh
if
my
they would have
God.
just made Obi-Wan
That's
pass out, that's fine. But to have him conscious and just watching,
Oh,
and
my leg.
it's just a flesh wound.
A flesh wound. No, this like when I saw this for the first time, I'm like, what? Oh, how the hell is Yoda gonna fight? And then, I was proven wrong immediately.
You want to see this, Grogu?
So cute.
Yeah, watch this, Grogu.
I was blown away, completely impressed whenever he absorbs the lightning, and he's like, "You still have a lot to learn. Like, don't get cocky."
Oh, like all this Force stuff, like I knew he can do, but once he pulled out that lightsaber, I had no idea what was getting ready to happen.
I love that he has a scaled lightsaber. That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
Full
that
yeah.
matches his size. Yeah.
I remember whenever this episode came out, he like a promotional shot of like him with that like blast, like the lightning coming out of his thing was like pictured on like all of the Mountain Dew boxes at the time.
Erica, real quick. Watch and learn, Grogu. Yes.
Oh, he's
watch
learning.
little buddy.
He's into it.
This is what your dad does. I'm still convinced that Grogu is Yoda's son.
Have you I know his name's Grogu, but like, have you like named your own personal, like, have you given him his own nickname?
That's a good idea. I call him Grogu, but that's honestly not a bad idea to give him his own name.
Yeah, he's your little thing. You gotta personalize him. You're his Brad.
That's right. Look at old Grogu out here freaking slaying it though.
He's your foundling.
That's right.
Man, they even put like age spots on Yoda's forehead.
They did. They're
like, let's put an age spot on Yoda's forehead, but like, let's definitely not put any more CGI towards the clones because we definitely don't need to make them look any better. But Yoda needs an age spot.
Yes, totally.
But do you know what's just is so disappointing about all these lightsaber battles we get here? Like, we get such the epic one from the Phantom Menace, and usually the trope for the sequels is do things bigger and better. They didn't. They totally failed with this lightsaber battle.
Yeah.
It does play the Yoda theme here, though.
Yeah, like, the other thing, like, all this does is just shows you how powerful Yoda is. And, like, that's great, and like, we kind of already knew. But, like, we could have had, like, a lot better fight scene.
Yeah, but see how that ship is just now taking off after he just now set that thing down and it didn't crush them? When it was about to crush them and it was in the air and he was, why didn't he, like, use the Force and, like, throw it into Dooku's ship so he couldn't
or one hand and then use the other hand? Like, no, you ain't going anywhere.
Or, like, just push them out of the way. Like,
yes, totally. You could have done that easy.
How Attack of the Clones could have ended. Erica, Brad, again, as a hardcore Obi-Wan fan, it's so difficult watching him get his ass kicked multiple times. Makes me want to tell him to chuck the book in the trash. It's not helping him get better.
Exactly, dude. Because he starts out in the okay,
and now he gets
fine. Yes, exactly. Now his tendon is working again. And then in the next one, though, like in the first 10 minutes, he gets knocked out again, gets crushed by a damn balcony, and then he has to lay there and do this whole thing over. Anakin has to carry him to the elevator. Just make him look good once. He even got his
ass kicked by General Grievous too.
And then he matches up and beats Anakin at the end of Revenge of the Sith. I'm like, you're telling me this dude that's got his ass kicked throughout the whole prequel trilogy can now freaking fight the dude that didn't get his ass kicked?
No, that's what I'm saying is that he was tired of getting his ass whooped, so he learned.
I guess so.
That's why Alec Guinness was like awesome in then, because he was like, I got my ass whooped as a child, bro. Like,
yeah. And I will say, Obi-Wan does learn like the greatest Jedi trick in the book. He knows the secret art of the high ground.
Iconic.
Erica, I'm happy with Chase's explanation. I'll stick with that. This is where we get to see the Emperor in person with his robe.
Bum 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 bum.
Master
that is cool. The way this ends with them kind of setting up for the next one is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I love that shot right there of just Palpatine's face, but you don't know that's Palpatine yet.
It's an iconic nose.
Yeah, it is.
So now that I realize
Lords
that I
have big noses,
I'm going to. This is my Star Wars ranking. All right. Oh my God, I feel so embarrassed. It changes a lot. I haven't edited this probably in 6 months, so it is probably not the same anymore. But 6 months ago, this was my Star Wars ranking. Episode 9 was my first favorite, just because even though it's the newest, it made me feel a way that no other Star Wars film had ever made me feel before. So I was like, I can't ignore that.
Mm-hmm. It was a fun movie too. I mean, yeah.
And I was devastated when Carrie Fisher passed. So whenever I saw that she was included in the film so much, I was like, ah. Okay, and then in second place, I have Phantom Menace because that was the first one I saw.
Sure.
And then in third place, I have Return of the Jedi because I love that that's when Luke stopped. Everyone thinks that Anakin is whiny. And it's like, yeah, I get it. But it's like, Luke is whiny.
Luke does too, yeah.
And
Yeah,
so I
and
like
Steve
when he's,
Merlot's gonna like that.
I like when he's, well, I mean, Anakin at least was like abused and traumatized. Like Luke he just was just on a sand planet and was like, no one loves me. Like, but I love that he has like a green lightsaber and that he's like, it's the first time that he looks badass and like at his full power and potential. And I love that opening Jabba scene. And he just, I love it. Then the original Star Wars.
I don't want to cut you off, but this
Yeah.
it plays the Imperial
Sure.
March here, and you see freaking Palpatine just looking over his creation here. It's a really cool ending.
The plans. Hell yeah. No, yeah, I'm totally fine with that because, you can't pause the movie, And
then Anakin and Padme gets married with R2 and C-3PO.
As their best man.
That's right. Anyway, so you had Rise of Skywalker, you had Phantom Menace.
Then Return of the Jedi.
And Return of the Jedi.
So then A New Hope. And then Empire Strikes Back. And then sixth place is Episode 2, this one.
Mm-hmm.
Seventh place is The Last Jedi. Eighth place is Force Awakens because Carrie Fisher's not in it at all, and Han Solo that's really hard for me. Even though I love that it's like so good, it's just like the fact that it's that the whole Han thing and then not enough Leia. And no Luke. There was no Luke. He's in it for 0.2 seconds. I wanted a scene with all three of them together.
I know, man. They missed it.
Yeah.
They freaking missed an opportunity, man.
That's Attack of the Clones, ladies and gentlemen.
Great ending.
Yes. I like that they get married. I thought that was sweet,
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it either.
That's how I would have, if I reshaped everything, that's how I would have ended episode 2, was that wedding.
Yeah.
And then my 9th place is Solo. And then my 10th place is Rogue One. And then my 11th place is Episode 3.
That's crazy. Okay, that has got to be, and this is a compliment, that's got to be the most unique Star Wars ranking I've ever heard in my life. And I think that's so interesting. I've never seen a ranking even close to that. So I think that's awesome. Yeah.
So literally 9, 1, 6, 4, 5, 2, 8, 7, Solo, Rogue One, 3.
That's fantastic because you're obviously a huge fan of the franchise. Like you got the books, you've seen the Clone Wars, and to have a ranking like that is just freaking. It's so unique and fresh, and I dig it, man.
I'm sorry.
Nice.
I also have been propping my phone up off of this little BB-8 thing. It's an actual droid, and I use Bluetooth to hook it up to my phone, and I can control him and roam him around my house.
Oh, that's awesome.
And his head magnetically pulls off and puts back on too. It's cool.
That's
cool. But yeah, do you know just what that tells me about your list? Like, I'm with Brad. That is a very unique, which I meant that in the most positive way too, because we could just tell with your list just how personally attached you are to those certain movies, like in your thought process, and I think that is awesome.
Thank you. I when I was in film school, I would get into a lot of, I hated saying arguments, but I would say something and people be like, "Oh, debate me," and I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah, it's just my opinion, bro. Relax. I'm not right, but you're not right either. It's just like Sean Chandler says. It's just my list.
I think that, I have a hard concept with certain things like that because I get a lot of hate for liking the prequels, and people are like, well, you're not a true Star Wars fan, and this, and that, and the other. And I feel like I at the end of the day, I'm not upset by any of the films. You're living in a world where you put on that and you leave upset. Why would you do that to yourself? I don't. So the fact that I love all the content and people want to tell me that I'm less of a, and I just hear a lot of comments from rude people about there was this guy in film school. He was 15 years older than me. His name was Ralph, and we both just like saw The Last Jedi that day, and I was like, oh, like, what'd you think about it? And he was like, I hated it. And it was like, really? I loved it. And he was like, what am I supposed to care about this movie just because there's a fat crying Asian girl and it's inclusive? And I was like, okay, you're clearly awful, and that's a problem on you. Like, so I'm just so used to people like picking apart these movies for nothing. It's like there's 7.5 billion people in the world, and think about how many millions of people hate coffee, but just because they hate coffee that doesn't make the product itself inedible. It doesn't make it magically not drinkable. Like, coffee is coffee, and you don't like it. Like, that's on you. Like, so I don't think any of the Star Wars films are bad. I think some people just don't like them, and I'm tired of people being like, you don't understand good content. And I'm like,
well, and that's the thing. Like, it's different with everybody. And just know, Star Wars fans are like the most toxic like fan group for any franchise out there. So we kind of like knew, like, we're so used to it, like with just everybody being so toxic and all that. So it's just everybody has different opinions, and that's why I love Star Wars too, because of all the different unique opinions. Like with your list, some people think The Last Jedi is the absolute greatest Star Wars film created of all time. And you know what? Good for them. But
I like Carrie Fisher in that film. That was really awesome. That was the first time I saw one alone. I moved out here to Hollywood and bought my own ticket and went to the Chinese theater on opening day and like saw it. And so like I have a big connection with like episode 8, but it's not my favorite,
Yeah. I can see. I don't hate I'm disappointed in the way what it did to the trilogy as in general, just because I don't know if it's really the movie itself or if it's just the fact that Disney chose to put a different director in the middle, but it also at the same time has some of my favorite moments of the franchise in it. So I'm mixed on it.
When Kylo and Rey spin around in slow motion.
Yeah, the throne room scene, that's what we call it.
Yeah. And like, the Battle of Crate.
That was the best cinematography I've ever seen in a movie.
The Battle of Crate was fantastic. The opening was fantastic.
I get a lot of shit about everyone says that they hate that Princess Leia scene with the cockpit blown out.
Oh, the Mary Poppins.
I remember being in the theater, like, and this is a year after Carrie Fisher had passed, like, and that she just exploded and went out. And I remember, like, in the theater, I went like, and I felt like my stomach like fell out of my butt. Like I was just sitting there, and I was like, what? So early in the film? Like, they're not even going to send her off like how they did Han, like this big whole emotional thing. Like, nope, 20 minutes in, his squad just takes her out. So whenever she's like floating there, and if you go back and watch it in slow motion, she like, because I've played it like frame by frame, she can like, she like looks up and like takes a deep breath, and like the fire like goes, and she like, it goes around her, and then she kind of like gets sucked out of the thing. I think her instincts kicked in, first of all. Second of all, I think that she's Darth Vader's daughter. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. So the fact that people are like, we've never seen her use the Force before, and we've never seen someone outside in space before, I was like, okay, well, you don't invent the universal laws of nature in that universe. So you don't even get paid by the Star Wars IP to, write. You're not even an author for them. Like, you're just a fan. Like, what do you know about the Force? Nothing. Like, you're not in control of what anybody anywhere can do with the Force. So, like, I don't know.
Precisely.
Let me get to these last couple of comments here. J-Man says, they definitely needed to give Obi-Wan more badass moments. And that is exactly what I'm hoping the Kenobi show is going to do, is just to right that ultimate wrong and make Obi-Wan Kenobi more of a badass.
Isn't Hayden Christensen going to be in it as Darth Vader?
Yes, and they are going to fight, and that has been confirmed. Exactly. Erica, Luke's like, whatever, Ben, tell him I am ready. Like 10 minutes later, I can't do it. Oh, poor Luke. And Erica also thought it was a nice ending. And yeah, it's like let us all enjoy the films as much as we'll enjoy them. If someone hates it, they don't need to lash it out on someone who loved it. Exactly. Like we
Yes.
could have our own opinions as long as we're just respectful about it. That's why I always preach. Like we could.
Precisely.
Yes.
Yeah, I just heard my twin somewhere.
I have a mock up here in my closet.
So yeah, guys, that was it for Attack of the Clones, and I'm still going to give it a 3 out of 5, which for our little rating system, I give that the old average Joe's gymnasium.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Like it has some good things to it, but it has a lot of good, a lot of bad. They just balance each other out.
It's got some things pulling it down. I think I agree with that. As for what it is, for part of the Star Wars franchise, I think you're totally right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Chase, how much time do you got, buddy? We can give like the chat like 10 minutes to answer some questions.
Yeah. That time frame's perfect.
Brad, you good with that?
Yeah, dude, I'm totally fine, man. Me and Grogu are here, we're ready for some questions. So,
all right, absolutely. So, guys, we appreciate you like watching us. So, for 10 minutes, we'll do a Q&A, and we'll get to your questions. So, and
thank you guys for having me on. And it went so well, and I'm glad that we got to talk about so many different points. And I learned so many things from you guys that I didn't, know.
And dude, same way. Like we learned so much about you, like with the Padme book, and just like your thought process about Attack of the Clones. And I actually respect Attack of the Clones more, just because I'm listening to you and your passion about that movie. So so I know the other side of the argument now. So we appreciate you for coming on.
Yes, thank you. It's not perfect. I'm not claiming that it's perfect. And I totally get that different people have gone through different things in their life. And that's why nostalgia is so fun, is because no one decides what makes you feel magical like that. And so like I don't know why, but just like being a child and like having a favorite character and then like holding the character in my hands and like playing with it. Like I can't imagine like how many scenes I used to, I was so creative as a child and I loved this person. So like whatever part of this story was, it was just so fun. And, it wasn't until I got older, until I went to film school and people started telling me things, children don't look at films like that. You get older and then you're aware of things more and you're educated and you get how things work. It's like the first time you hear that they use mashed potatoes instead of ice cream to like take pictures and put on the, it's because in the film industry, ice cream will melt under production lights. So they have to like, they take mashed potatoes and then they make it look like ice cream, So like when you're a kid and you see ice cream on TV, you're like, oh, ice cream, but then you're an adult and you're like, oh, clearly that's not logical. And you see things more. So it's not necessarily picking, but it's like, yeah, I can't excuse things like for this how I could when I was younger, but I still love it. I still think it's great exposition.
Awesome.
Most definitely.
Sorry,
yeah,
I talked too much.
No, it's
totally
fun.
Hey, dude, you're great. Like we're just so intrigued. Like it's awesome, and I see you're drinking an A&W. I love a good A&W.
Hell yeah. I'm a big soda fiend. I like Mountain Dew is my favorite, but yeah,
I used to be, but January kind of told me not to be a big soda fan anymore because I've dealt with 2 kidney stones in January.
That must have been awful.
Brings you to your knees.
What are your guys' Star Wars movies rankings? I'm curious about that. I'd love to know.
We're going to do a live show. It's just after the watch series is over, we'll officially do it. But I could be happy to tell you what I have it now, because I'm not going to make any adjustments until after all the watch stuff is over. So I'll be happy to tell you.
What's your favorite? Or
oh no, I'll be happy to tell you the whole thing. Just as of right now, before this watch party started.
Cool.
Yeah, the last time I looked at it, I liked Empire Strikes Back's my favorite.
It's so good, and it ends on such a dark note, and what's
Oh,
that?
but that's the
That
purpose
Han
of the
and
movie,
Leia
though.
score. No, yeah, I love it. Is that it's so eerie. That Han and Leia score. That's like
It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
okay. Sorry, go ahead.
I love that. That's my favorite. New Hope's not far behind it. I really like New Hope. And then after that, it can be changed on a dime. But after that, I have Force
Yep.
Awakens, and then actually on this list is Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker. After rewatch, I mean, I don't know if that'll stay up that high or not.
And that's where our streak ends because we have the same top 3.
Yeah. I have Rise of Skywalker on here. But it could be Return of the Jedi. It could be Revenge of the Sith. I don't know. Like it depends, man. By the time it's time to actually have a final official ranking, we'll see what happens at that point.
I will say that Han in Chapter 7 is one of my favorite incarnations of that character. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I loved Han in that.
That's why when he goes, it's so hard. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after that, it's like, man, I could bounce them away. I have Rogue One and Solo in here as well. But yeah, man, I just
I got
it's hard because like I said earlier, I don't hate any of these, so it's hard to really put them in a ranking. I don't know.
Me too.
I'll go ahead and tell you mine. I got Empire 1, New Hope 2, The Force Awakens 3, Revenge of the Sith 4. Rise of Skywalker 5, Return of the Jedi 6, which I know Steve Merlo is going to give me hell on that one. 7 is Rogue One, which I know the J-Man's going to give me hell on that one. The Last Jedi 8, Solo 9, Episode 1 10, and I'm sorry, Chase, Attack of the Clones 11.
No, that's all good.
Which that could change if I don't feel differently about Solo, because I feel like Solo's getting ready to maybe go down on second watch.
And I'm also just like would let us state that like you don't hate the film, so it's okay that it's not your favorite. I just don't like. I really just didn't want people to be like, yeah, this is the worst one in the film, and I can't wait to just trash it the whole time. And I nope. But yeah, not the best. I totally get it.
Right. Yeah, it's like I like all the Star Wars movies. It's just out of them, like that's just the least. But that doesn't mean I hate it. But it means that I just still see a lot good in it. And plus, I just love Star Wars.
Yours is the most common ranking I hear amongst people.
I am the most common person in the world, so that is an absolute truth. That is a true statement.
But it's a good thing. You genuinely like what's genuinely liked.
Mm-hmm. Let's get these comments and then we'll get us all out of here because I know this is Valentine's weekend and everybody's got plans.
I loved being here with you guys, though. Super fun.
Hey, absolutely.
No, yeah, it's been a good time.
And I love your Halloween poster in the back. Oh,
thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I'm jealous of that poster.
Yeah.
He calls me Bert. Erica, this was so much fun. Thank you all for having me. Always love some Star Wars. Erica, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come hang out with us, along with everybody that came in the chat today. We appreciate you. And Erica, I'll be talking to you soon once all the Star Wars Watch Party stuff is dialed down, because me and Brad would love to have you on our show to talk about Star Wars.
Absolutely, we would.
Yeah, and it's like the more comments there are, the more we get to engage, and the more the different conversations come up.
Exactly. And oh gosh, this question. Video Tasty says, always two, there are no more, no less, a master and an apprentice. Who is which out of Brett and Brad? Well, Brad is a Jedi, so he don't count. And actually, I'm the apprentice. And do you want to know who the master is?
Who?
It's me.
Oh my gosh.
They took me out that damn commercial in the Super Bowl, and no. Bert, we're not going to get into that. Bert is still really pissed off about the Super Bowl.
Ain't we all?
But but simple question. Brad's the master. I'm the apprentice.
I do what I can for you. I have
advice for both of you. Master, watch out because apprentices try to kill their masters.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, especially
Apprentice,
Brad blew
watch
up my
out
house.
because sometimes masters try to replace their apprentices.
That's also true.
Very true indeed.
Good luck to you both.
plus
And
Brad
I
blew up my
got a
house.
little fella brewing over here that's just ready to freaking take that spot. So
If you don't name him, I'm gonna be sad.
I'll think of something.
So Brad, that's your next homework assignment when we go live. Grogu's gotta have a name.
That's right.
And I'll check in to make sure that it's
just talking.
accurate.
But no, Chase, before we get off here, is there anything you want to talk about on your channel that's coming up?
Okay, I wonder if...
Because I know you say you talked about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise you're going through right now.
Yes.
And aliens.
All right, I'm waiting for my notes. Okay. So, yes, I mostly do horror movies on my channel, but I've also done the Star Wars films, and I plan to do some other different genres because... Like I've done like the Birds of Prey and like some other DC things. I like that. But yeah, I'm mostly a horror. That's just because that's what I watch in my personal life. So like it's mostly my channel.
So you're exactly like us.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then so I have this list that's like 2021 to review. And I've done the first 2 Alien movies. Well, now the first 3 Alien movies. I've done the first 2 Nightmare on Elm Streets. I want to do the Friday the 13th franchise. I've done the first Child's Play with Chris, and I want to do the rest. Evil Dead, I want to do. Jaws, I want to do. I did the first I Know What You Did last summer, and I have the second one recorded.
Awesome.
I want to do Predator, and then Aliens versus Predator. So yeah, those are the things that I have that I want to try to get done in 2021. But I also do this thing where like I'll literally just... Someone will be like, "Hey, do you want to watch like The Conjuring or like The Thing or like how?" And I'll just and then I'll just do that movie like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just do it while
Sometimes
the
things are
pan is
random.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes they're random. Most of the time they're scheduled, but yeah, lots of good horror movies. And I just saw the Halloween movies for the first time like 2 or 3 years ago. So I did all of them for the first time like on my channel, and now I'm doing Nightmare for the first time. And I want to, like I said, do the Friday for the first time because they've never seen the big 3 iconic things. So it's fun for me.
Yeah, what you could do too, because Chris Snyder on the House of the Living Dead on his channel, him and Destiny's channel, Chris will be doing a thank God it's Friday the 13th watch party series. So that would be a good time for you, like to watch them.
Yeah, I think I'm actually signed up for Jason X because whenever I was like, whenever that was done, whenever I was like young, and like just like in passing at someone's house, I saw like this like chrome faced guy with a machete like stick some girl's face in liquid nitrogen and smash it off, and that was at someone's house, like just like picking up my friend, and like whoever the adult was at the household was like watching that movie. So I walked in, and for like 5 minutes, I'm standing there and I see that clip, and I just thought it was like so interesting my whole life. And like, so that's literally like the only part of that franchise that I've like really have any like familiarity with. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that one if no one wants to do it. But apparently people don't like it, and I didn't know that.
Well, that's Chris's fault for not telling you that. So you be sure to give him hell for us on that.
So I'm not sure if I should watch them all before he even starts his thing, or should I?
That's totally your preference. Like for me, I would watch them all before the review series because they'll be talking and you get distracted.
Maybe reference other.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So that's why I suggest you watching all of them then.
But at the same time, honestly, there's not a lot of story going on there, so you'll be fine if you decide if you want to save the time and watch them as they're doing it. I don't think it's going to hurt it too much. They're fun. They're definitely fun watches, but you're not gonna miss a lot of important dialogue or anything like that. So, but yeah, what were you saying, Bert?
I was going to just kind of reveal to the audience what we got coming up real quick.
Yeah. Absolutely, dude.
All right.
You're gonna do it? You want to do it?
Yeah, I got the notes right here. Unless if you want to do it,
dude, go right ahead, my friend.
All right. Well, for the 17th, we're going to be releasing a movie collection for horror which pretty much all what that video would entail is we get to show off Brad's collection of horror movies and sort of my collection of horror movies, because recently I'm going to be like developing my physical media again, because I used to have an impressive collection, but I gave it all to McKay so me and my mom could go on vacation one year, like an ultimate sacrifice. But it was well worth it because that trip was awesome. But I'm slowly rebuilding that library, and I will be just showing it off on this coming Wednesday. Oh, and Monday will be the second live stream episode of the Lunch Club, where it's a live 50-minute Q&A where you can ask any questions you want during your lunch break to kind of help your lunch break more relaxing. And next Friday, this coming Friday, we're going to be doing a Donnie Darko movie review with Brad's brother Eric. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, we got another Star Wars Saturdays pre-recorded episode for next Saturday, which we will be having a video game discussion on Star Wars games.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me on. It's been so much fun. I didn't expect it. Not that I didn't expect it to go this well, but I'm so thrilled with how well it went.
Absolutely, we'll have to do it again sometime, and because you're so well versed and in the Star Wars knowledge, I think it'll be a good time. We'll definitely have you on again and do some more stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love
to. You're absolutely welcome on our channel at any time you want.
Oh, thanks. If I ever, I get nervous about maybe doing my own lives, but I kind of want to look into StreamYard and stuff. So if ever I do that, I always want to get back at this. Could that the content chat? I love everybody in there and stuff. So if ever I do it, I'd love to have them all on mine as well. That'd be fun.
I call it the chat that never sleeps.
That's true.
But before I get in trouble, let me read these last 2 comments and we'll get out of here.
Right.
Erica, thank you, Brett. TBH, I think Grogu is going to be the one to join Jedi and Mandalorians, the joining force.
I like
Hell
it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And Erica, also, thanks for joining us today and watching with us as well.
Yeah, yes. Absolutely, Erica. Thank you. So, and again, thank you to everybody. And we got to get the shout out because he's a big supporter on our channel. Mikey. Hey guys, I'm quite late getting in here. I've been editing and uploading, so howdy, dude. Howdy.
What's up, Mike?
We're about to get off here because we know it's Valentine's weekend and everybody's got stuff to do. If you don't have anything to do tonight, over on Chris Snyder's channel, he and the Fauci monster, Matt Fauci, will be watching the My Bloody Valentine 3D, which is the remake of the original My Bloody Valentine, and I believe that will be at 8 or 9 o'clock. I'll double check that.
I think it's
at
guys.
8. I'm thinking it's 8 o'clock too. So 8 o'clock on Chris Snyder's channel. If you don't have anything to do tonight, and with that, we are gonna fare you guys a farewell. Have a great day, and may the force be with you.
Hell yeah, always. Oh, I want to do it.
Yes.